Oh, baby! That's right. That's what I do. Come on. No, I ain't never let you down. Get up, like it. Get up, like it. Get up, like it. Chill, chill. Yo, first I snatched the streets, then I snatched the charts. First I had their ear, now I have their heart. Rappers came and went, I've been here from the start. I seen them put it together, watch them take it apart. Seen the rovers roll up with ribbons. I seen them repo, be sold and be driven. So when I reload, heat holes number one positions. When you hot, I'm hot. And when your feet cold, mine's a sizzling. It's plain to see. Niggas can't fuck with me, cause I'ma be that nigga for life. This is not an image, this is God-given. This is hard living, mixed with crystal sipping. It's the most consistent hope. Keep it emotion, you can fit inside a whole listen. Nigga, I'm on these charts.
WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No, what you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, slap them?
Be like, man, he said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. We done had a heart
You gotta
attack.
get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that? Yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, there's turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that glow on. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that glow on, girl, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put your grown on. It's something about you when you put your clothes on. Oh, when you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting your own wanna know. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done and your nails done, when you put that grown on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Life seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. Need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. Sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Oh, wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Shout out to Riis' mama. I ain't say that. No disrespect. She here early. Riis looked up like,
Yo,
what
mama,
you say about my mama?
Yo, mama, Riis.
Nah, I ain't say it like that. Hey, Miss Wilson. How you doing? I see you up early on. She said, "Good for." Riis looked like he's finna. Huh?
Yeah, I said she up real early because she. I don't need to tell her business.
Then
But she on West Coast time right now.
Ooh,
So
look at
she
you,
up.
business.
Right? You all in her
That's
business.
why
What
she
you
out.
doing on the West Coast?
Having some
Who's she
breakfast
with?
margaritas.
Man, listen, my mama thought she was young last weekend. And, she was all, like taking little pictures and stuff, calling me. I said, girl, I need you in by 10. You hear me?
That's right.
In by 10.
In by 10. That's how she used to do you, right?
In by 10.
What
Right?
Did you come in at 10 though?
10, 10, 10,
you-
10, 10. Yeah,
10-ish,
10-ish.
Okay, so let me ask a question. Are you did you have was ish punishable?
Nah, it all depends. Like, you can't go too crazy with the 10-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like 10, 30.
It's a window period.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be
And
rushing
then it was-
home. Accidents can happen.
And then it was the bus back
That's
in the
why
day,
you leave.
and we didn't have phones. So, it was all good. It was the bus, we ain't had no phone, so it was all good.
And Ruthie, were you a ish? You didn't even have a
I had a
curfew,
car.
did you?
No, I did after school and stuff, so I pretty much was on my own.
Yeah, I mean, but how late could you stay out? Like, what was your curfew?
Whatever. I mean, I wasn't out. What was I out doing?
In the country, playing in the cornfield.
Hey, none of that.
Got the duck the clan anyway. You probably got to stay in the Kentucky.
I was a very, very trustworthy young person. Didn't have to give me a curfew because you knew I was going to be back in the house. And if I wasn't, then there's probably something wrong. Start looking for me.
Total opposite.
You was going just
Total
out.
opposite.
I was just thinking about this though, like how your parents track you on your phone now. Like, do you understand? Like,
you think that's a normal part of parenting now? Would you agree?
Yeah, but like, I think about like when I was a kid, bro. I could be in New Mexico as long as I was home. Cause how was they gonna know?
That was part of the thrill, right?
No, it wasn't no thrill. It was just how it was.
Thrill. I think parents got thrill out of that too, not really knowing what they young people
Nah,
was.
they just knew like just don't get brought home by the police, and make sure you home. Now I didn't have ish though. There was no ish.
I appreciate the police brought me home. They just brought free ride. Thank you. It's all good. I didn't do nothing too bad. They brought me home and bring me, so what?
Man,
thank you for the ride, man.
You had a strict curfew, like you got to be in the house by what? 10? But you was working and stuff.
So that was my escape from curfew, because you
didn't know what you was doing.
Well, right. So I could be out till 12. I had 12:30 on weeknights, but that was because McDonald's closed at 11, and I had them convinced that it took an hour and a half to close.
That's really late,
right? Man, but
I'm thinking the same thing. Like,
right?
Did you have school?
Yeah, man. But like, okay, so let's back up. First of all, I worked 2 jobs my junior and senior year. I worked at Burger King and McDonald's. My senior year, I worked at Burger King. I got out of school at 10 o'clock. I went there at 8 o'clock. I was out by 10. I did co-op. So I worked at Burger King from 10 to 2. I would leave at 2, go home, get ready for football practice, go pick up Tennille when she snitched on me, right? And I used to have to walk to do all this, but then I got a car. Then I would drop Tennille off, make sure she was at home, and then get ready and drive out to Lisle, Illinois, where I would go work at McDonald's, and I would work from 6 to close. And the 6 to close, we closed at 11, and then I had them convinced that from 11 to 12:30 was you got to break down the restaurant. We got to do all the stuff. But like if you work at a restaurant, you could close literally when they turn the lock. Most people got the place ready to go. So that gave me an hour and a half window to be messy. Hey, man, restaurant life. Can I tell you something? Restaurant life is an interesting thing, right? Because if there's a whole second set of life that happens after people get off restaurants, right? So, like, I wasn't a bar guy, but, like, if you think about it, like, there's professional courtesy. So, like, we could go to the late restaurant. We'll be out in the park somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You'll be out doing God knows what with God knows who. But that was my excuse to be out. But let it be 12:31.
They was still up waiting on you to get home?
Oh, yeah. Dude would be sitting in the chair. Like, you just never, if you walked in the house dark at night and it was pitch black, you knew dude was sitting in the chair. And you'd be like, click. Ah, you made it just on time.
Why, though?
Terrorism. But I feel like it's that, like, somewhere in that space, it's that fear of getting caught.
But you still did what you wanted to do. So really, that was like a false sense of control. No, because you still found a way to finesse and do what you wanted to do. So you knew I could do whatever I want to do, as long as I'm put my key in the door and I'm in by whatever.
And I had to be in the house.
That's why I feel like sometimes some stuff just be arbitrary, and we just create ways for people to have to sneak around.
Well, let me say this. Sneak for me. Respect, like, look, let me tell you what. Give me the illusion of respect.
And the illusion of control?
It's the illusion of, I'll take the illusion of respect.
That's what life is. It's all about the illusion.
No, it's really not.
Yes, it is.
I went out of town, so y'all was just talking about how you can track your kids on your phone. So I went out of town, and I saw my younger cousin. And what he can do is, I don't know, but he knows how to manipulate where he's at. So he be playing like with his mama, like it show him in like Minnesota, and then she be like, "Stop playing, fix your share." So yeah, man, it's so much. So it's like now it's kind of because if you really think about it, each generation got more trickier. You know what I'm saying? To like, so it's kind of crazy to hear our children be like, man, I remember, man, they had thought they was really tracking me, but I did, like,
right,
I really want to hear that in about 15 years. Like, that was clever. That was clever.
So I feel like this, right? Like, I believe in the realm of parenthood. You are going to try and instill values in your child, right? And then you instill the values that they're going to always test the limits, but you hope that there is a point where they look at the edge and say, my parents told me no. And you know what? I might test this, but I ain't going there. Right? And I'm going to tell you, it's like it's the Trey moment in the car in Boys in the Hood. There's a moment when it clicks. And you might test all the limits all the time in the world, but you pray that one moment your parents said, and I tell you what. So I'll give you this real quick and then I'm going to stop. So, I had the desire to, as a Bowling Brook person, when I decided that I wanted when I wanted to partake in another side of life, I didn't want to be from Bolingbrook, so I would travel to an inner city project every Friday night, and I would attend a meeting. Right? Do y'all remember me telling y'all about the story about the bag of crack? Mm-hmm. Okay. And it was that day that I was like, see, my parents told me. And so did the police officer. But that was like the look over the edge. Then I tested it again when I got to college. And then it was like when the doors closed and they was like, you going in the back? Like, and it was like, damn, my parents. So I don't think that it is. I think you should have a certain level of, there's certain things that even to this day, I would not share with my parents, like with my mother, right? Like, I want her to have, yes, Mom, I am not perfect, but you will not have the evidence, right? You will not have the paperwork that says, yes, I saw my son at So anyway, I do feel like there should be a healthy fear / respect of your parents, and I hope that when my children make decisions, sometimes they ain't gonna think about it, but if I do cross their mind, I do hope that they say, man, my parents would be disappointed if they knew this, right? I don't beat on them or push, but I am very clear about what my hopes and expectations are, knowing that they're not gonna meet them all, because we all gotta experiment, but I certainly knew at 12 o'clock. And I'm sure that on some of those days, if I wasn't worried about that 12 o'clock, Drew Peterson was a police officer in Bolingbrook, right? When I was growing up, the body dude, the dude that put the people in the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, if he caught you outside after dark, after 12:30, Drew Peterson might get you. So anyway, I just think, dang. Did you ever sneak out? I didn't have to sneak out. The white people used to sneak out. Did you sneak out, Riis?
Oh yeah.
See, I was too scared to sneak out. Like, I would never sneak out.
So like, it really wasn't. So like, I guess so. We lived in like a 3-flat. So like, I stayed in like the basement. So like, my mother for like the last probably 8 years, I probably say like the last 6 years of my life, she never came in the basement. Like, when I say never, I mean never. Like, like, I could be having a party down there, and if she didn't hear nothing when she came, like, she never came down there. She would just knock on the door open and like literally talk to me from the stairs to my room. And like, that was it. And like, people thought it was strange. They said,
yeah, you had your own apartment.
Like, right. Like, she never came down there for like 6 years straight.
That you knew of. When you was gone, she was up in there.
Nah. So like I used to, so it was like this party one time, and I wanted to go, but this time she had my auntie over spend the night. So like, usually she sleep, But her and my auntie up just talking and talking. So me and my cousin like, man, why these people up? So what we did was we took turns sneaking to the party. Like, you know, so like I go stay for 30 minutes, come back. He'll go stay for 30 minutes. Yeah, it was like 2-3 blocks. And so then like later, so he's like, all right, man, we both gonna go and then come back. We both went, came back, but yeah, but like, so as long as she didn't come downstairs and like say my name, I was, you know, like I was pretty much good.
So, Ruthie, you didn't have to sneak out.
Damn, I was gonna get told on by my siblings. Like,
they were also. I thought you was the bully.
You sneak out? That's like, what? Who does that?
Okay.
Where I'ma go?
What?
How I'ma get there?
Why people used to sneak out all the time? Every weekend they had a story about how they snuck out. But what I also realized is their parents was drunk. Right? So they was my parents, look, my old man be up writing a sermon at 3:00 in the morning. I'm trying to get out somewhere. All right, let me ask another question. Was anybody allowed to smoke in the house?
Oh, not at all.
What?
Unless we had my great uncle. He come in there, so he was born like early, you know, saying like 1900s. Mm-hmm. So it was like, you know, like a habit to him. So he would come over there, cross his legs, and light a cigarette at Thanksgiving dinner. Nobody was like, "You gonna say something? You gonna say something?"
No, I'm talking about period. But I am saying, I was really talking about smoking weed.
No, you couldn't smoke nothing in the house. Nothing in the house.
Did your parents know you smoked weed?
Well, I didn't say.
Okay, did anybody smoke in high school?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. I know. You was around. Like,
dang. What you talking about?
Okay. My bad.
First 48. What?
All right, let me ask the last one, and then I'll stop.
What you asking all these questions for?
Because I'm just trying to make sure I ain't crazy.
Did you partake in high school?
No. I did not partake in anything until freshman year.
When was your first cigarette?
My first cigarette?
You was little?
My first cigarette was I might have been 5 years old. I was check this out. 5 years old. I remember as plain as day. Check this out. 5 years old, plain as day, 59th and Wabash, right? We sitting on the church steps inside the church, and my mom is upstairs. I think she's doing the mimeographs because we had a thing where you had to crank out the church bulletins, right? The janitor, so I was hanging out with the janitor. He had just got through mopping, glowing. And I don't know how I remember this as plain as day as 5 years old, but the floor was brown, and he used this mop and glow, and he had just mopped the floor, so he was sitting down to take a cigarette break. Now, at this time, you could smoke in the church. Like, the ladies used to go in the bathroom and smoke. You ever been in a women's bathroom, and they had, like, a whole lounge and, like, everything? Man, you got 2 stalls, and you be like, did y'all clean the bathroom? Women got a lounge. They, like... So when you're a little kid, you know the ladies that take you into the lounge, they all be in there smoking. This church upstairs, the whole thing. So anyway, but this is on like a Wednesday night. So, you know, everybody thinks smoking is cool at first when you're a kid. So I was like, so he's like.
There used to be commercials on there.
Right. I mean, man.
Candy cigarettes. You get
man, we used to go to the thing and get the candy cigarettes and blow.
Yes.
So dude say, I was like, oh, let me smoke that. And he let me smoke it. Hey, Joe, it worked. I promise you, to this day, if you put a cigarette anywhere near me, I never want to feel that. And I think he was smoking like Cools. So you know what a 5-year-old smoking a Cool is like? Nah, Joe. After that, you ain't never, ever had to worry about me ever looking at a cigarette. Now, my cousin, finals week, freshman year, he was like, it was almost just like the movie. It's Friday, finals is over, you ain't got nothing to do. And the next thing I know, it was like they had a contraption. And my cousin was like, what is this contraption? They was just like, just breathe.
Duh.
Lord have mercy. And it was like a ketchup bottle. And it just make like this crazy stream. And I just remember being like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Craziness. All right, so let me ask the last question. Could you have company in the house? And could you have company in your room?
So we can have. It all depends on the company. So you couldn't just bring
female company, opposite sex company in the house.
Yeah, probably what you know my son. I'm an early father, so yeah. so yeah,
an early father.
That's
a nice way to say I'm a teen dad.
Yeah, I'm an early father. so yeah.
Would you let your children have company?
My son, his senior year, his girlfriend came over. Yeah.
They still together?
Yeah, they still together.
Hold on.
They've been going strong.
Hold on.
We got company.
Hold on. When you say company, okay, I'm talking about different company now.
His
Now let me say
girlfriend.
my pet. I might be in trouble. Okay, I'm not. I was like, all right, wait. Okay, you're saying that? Okay, sleepover company.
Like she didn't sleep over, but I mean I think she went home at 12.
That's different. You could watch a movie till 12. Could she go in the room?
Yeah.
Could they close the door?
Probably.
Excuse me.
It was closed. It was closed.
Look, he like probably. No, I caught myself. What?
He trusts his
son. My son he's not me. He's the total opposite of me. Yeah.
Her parents knew where she was at too.
Yeah, her parents knew where she was at.
You ever gave her a ride home?
Wait, but your parents knew. Did her parents know she could come to your house and go in the room and close the door?
When her parents came over for Thanksgiving, they went in the room.
With the door closed?
Yeah.
He gave the girl a ride home.
I would give my son's date a ride home if they didn't have a car.
At night?
Yes. Like, I would say it's okay for y'all to be at 12 o'clock, but y'all better be sitting on the couch.
What?
And I'm gonna be walking through the living room.
My son.
Now you
so
can
it's his senior year. He's going to college with his girlfriend. So like it's only so much. So like I can protect him, right? So they come home on Thanksgiving. They done spent the whole semester living together. So now I want to come in and be like, all right, like
you
I
ain't
get
finna
what
be.
you saying.
So you saying, okay, nah, dog.
And
wait,
his
no,
room right underneath my room. So
you tripping?
Huh?
You tripping? In my humble opinion. And not only that, but
hold on,
my family is so like I got like an old school family that you ain't even sleeping in the same bed or room with your baby daddy if y'all ain't married.
Ding.
They ain't sleeping.
Ding.
He's talking about some ding. They ain't sleeping. He's still.
Okay. See, this where the world go crazy.
Nah, Maze, it's Riis.
Nah, you just got to telling me that's the illusion.
No, it is. No, Maze. They got 2 kids together. We already
Riis
know.
Kids?
No, I'm talking about it's an illusion. It's just about the illusion. It's about respect.
Okay, but is respect an illusion?
If you got 2 children with somebody,
yes,
I'll just say one. You got 1 child with somebody.
Yes.
You coming to my house, y'all don't share the same room because y'all ain't married just based on like our value set or whatever. That's an illusion. We know what y'all already doing. Y'all got a whole baby. Y'all together. But it's about the respect factor.
Okay, that's not an illusion. That's a real thing, like respect. Like you ain't finna be in my house.
It's the illusion of we acting like this 19.
No, we acting like
1930. We like, come on now. They already got a baby.
So let me tell you what you're not finna be doing in my house. You not finna be knocking hell no. Get y'all ass a room then. Y'all come by and visit.
But that's not happening though.
Hey Joe,
that's funny.
When you know your kids, you know See, my mother knew that it was the opposite for me. You know, but and like literally his room is like literally right above my room. So
can I ask you a personal question? After you had a baby, right, at a young age, did your mom let your baby mom sleep over?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So that's where he get his understanding from. It's like, okay, I did this, so
okay, y'all. Can we please take a break? And I really gotta ask in my crazy. So we gonna open up because the Saints will be here too. Can we just have this conversation? This
ain't not on the paper.
I know, but this is a good conversation. This is like it's not, but it's Friday. Like, and I'd rather talk about some fun stuff than be I'm mad again. This is hilarious to me. This is really crazy. Like, but I am going to tell you. Then it's the people. So so there's the people that say like, did your parents let you drink at the house?
What? Like what? Drink what?
Alcohol.
Like they knew about it?
I mean, kind of. I mean, did you drink?
21. Yeah.
I mean, so
when I was 21. Yeah.
Yeah, but under 21. Like I'm saying, like I know people whose parents let them have parties at their house and drink in high school, and there are people who say, "Man, I'd rather my kids drink at my house than go out and drink." Now, I do feel like that is part of white culture, somewhat.
I was gonna say that
because, like, I do feel like that is part of white culture, like in that, like they drink at their church. Like if you Catholic, they be like, "Where? Hey man, you go to a Catholic gang?" Yo, cuz, they be having a bar to hold your dick. And it'd be like, I guess, but if you could just go upstairs and go get forgiven. You know what I'm saying? But look, we're going to talk about some more culture wars when we come back. I do want to know, did your parents play that? Like, and as a parent, like, Ruthie says it's an illusion.
I no. That's not what I said.
What did you say?
You gotta keep it into context.
Okay.
We were talking about sometimes the power that, based on the tracking system. Remember, and I was like, "Oh, you came around to like being okay with like tracking your son or whatever, allegedly." But and then we talked about like the illusion of having to be home at a certain time and the things that you can get into before that because you already had it figured out that I could do whatever I want within this window period, long as I put the key in the door by 12:30. You said,
yeah. Can I say?
So I said that's an illusion of control.
So I think there's
from the perspective of your parent.
I feel you kind of. Like, I feel like that because I think the illusion...
But it's a respect thing on your end, which is not the illusion part I'm talking about.
Okay. So I feel like there's things that happen up until 12:30 that even if you just messing around, I feel like my parents also... So I think there's the kid version of what you doing at 12:30 up to 12:30, and there's the adult version of what the consequences of that could be outside after 12:30, especially like in a suburb as a black kid driving in a car in Lisle, Illinois, etc., and what you're doing in this park. So I think there's a lot more to it than just like being freakadeaky. I think there's other components to it when your parents ask. So let's talk about it, though, a little bit more when we come back, and we'll add the Saints into the conversation because I know they was like, I seen Robin Patrice talk about what she walked in on. So you know the Saints is like, the hell? Oh, no, they wasn't. They was like, the heaven? Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
This is Monster Jam, the official Monster Truck Series. Witness the world's best drivers competing in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Be part of the action. Let's hear it. Make some noise. Brought to you by Great Clips. Get your savings coupon from participating Great Clip salons and save 20% on select tickets. See savings coupon for restrictions and details. Coming to Allstate Arena September 16th through 18th.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion has to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in for the media, black people? How you doing today? This is Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. As we head up to the sports, the Cubs lose 8-3 against the Cardinals. The White Sox also lose 4-3 against the Orioles. College football starting this weekend. Illinois will be taking on Wyoming Saturday at 3 p.m. Final preseason game for the Bears taking on the Browns at 6 p.m. Saturday. Don't forget, the Chicago Sky are back in action Sunday, looking to repeat as champions as they will be taking on the Connecticut Sun Sunday, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Let's head over to Tribunal and Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 22 minutes outbound to O'Hare will be 17 on the Edens inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange and back, 28 minutes, while the Eisenhower is 29 minutes in both directions. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan, 33 minutes outbound will be 28. On the Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 37 minutes, 28 minutes to I-80, while the Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive, south and north, they're both 8 minutes in both directions. Today's weather, it is currently 70 and mostly cloudy. Today will only be a high of 73 with a low of 64. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Friday, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
Come all the way with me. Please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha, Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave. Dear Lord, it's me again. God's gonna turn it around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and we probably shouldn't have been having that. We was talking about Ruthie's cousin, not me or Ruthie, just our cousins, because they be acting up. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and we have not talked about anything of some significance except for what's wrong with these cheerings today.
And these parental units.
Give us a call. 872-259-7474. Ruthie kids go. Ruthie, I hope you don't have like the kids. Ruthie gonna have the kids that you be like, what's up? Because her kids gonna be able to do what they want. They gonna be like,
what?
rules.
No.
No, Ruthie.
No, I am
be like this.
I am an authoritarian.
No, your kids gonna be like, we free. Did y'all ever see that Blackish? When they had the white,
that's gonna be you, Ruthie. Now you done have freedom.
Ruthie kids gonna be
freedom all the time, and now you gonna be the strict one, huh? You can't go
Ruthie gonna be like, you know,
like for real. I am like law and order, TT. Like I don't be doing all that. We can talk, we can communicate, but you gonna do what I say.
No, hold on. You don't negotiate
because I do negotiate. I will negotiate if you can articulate your point and it makes sense. But sometimes
how old? I mean, how well can a 3-year-old articulate?
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. So I do have a little bit probably more flexibility when it comes to communication and me actually taking the time to listen to your perspective and trying to understand your logic and reasoning.
And then it'd be like, I appreciate that conversation. I go do what the hell I just told you.
I will negotiate though.
Like, what's negotiate?
Like, okay, if I tell you to do something, right? Okay, like
is it do it now?
So I'll give you an example. I babysat my god baby. She's 3.
It's your god baby. I'm talking about a niece where you got some discipline.
Well, no. Well, this is her mom does what's called gentle parenting.
Oh Lord. See,
right?
Here we go. What's gentle parenting? Could you please?
Gentle parenting, right?
Ask them.
So you tell her to do something, and she gonna say
mosey on over,
or she gonna say, "Well, can I do something else?" So then you gotta like kind of negotiate to say, "Okay, do this first, and then you can do this." So it's just like the psychology of a 3-year-old. It's like you can tell them, "Okay, pick these toys up now," but if they say no, then what y'all gonna have a power struggle? You gonna whoop them to make them pick them up?
No, I'm gonna walk you over to them
and pick them up one by one, right?
With your hand. And we gonna walk to the thing till you get it. Now,
that's a strategy, but not whooping them, yelling at them.
I'm not gonna whoop you. I'm not. Yeah, but
that's gentle parenting, Maze. Walking them over and helping them to pick them up.
No. I'm helping you. No, this not help. This I'm gonna take your hand. I'm gonna squeeze it.
Oh
no! And you go put it in the toy box. And you go like,
no.
Now I'm picking up for my grandbaby. I'll pick him up.
Don't let him babysit your children.
I'll pick up for my grandbaby, and it's different when it's not your kids, right? Because I'll be like, when it ain't your kids, you got some badass kids. I'm gonna be like, come get you. If your kid is not compliant with me and it ain't mine, hey, you could not do what I ask you to do.
But what are the consequences from your children when they was little for not listening? If I tell you to do something and you don't do it, do you? I don't want to use the word negotiate. No, what do you do? Do you? What you do?
There wasn't a test of wills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've had that many questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was like you looked at dad and you knew like I don't want the business,
so I'm just gonna
do it. Right now, one of the things that I don't do, like where I have had a little challenge, and is the whole concept that people feel like I have to negotiate with my child. Like my child,
you say you don't.
No, I'm not negotiating. No, it's like you want to.
Can I give you an example that is a good example I heard? You tell your young person to turn off the game and come and do something, right? Now, if you play video games, you can't just always turn it off in the middle of whatever. So you as a parent would need to like have a little bit of grace and understanding and negotiate a little bit in that regard if your young person is a gamer. Because you can't just always turn it off. You might lose some of your rank, or you might be playing a cooperative game with a bunch of people. Like,
hey, Ruthie, you talking to somebody that never saved the game. Every time he turned on Mario Brothers, he played from World 1, Board 1. I'm just saying, but
that would
every
be
time
me.
He played Pac-Man, they start on the first one. Okay, you won't just say, you
gotta beat the game from the beginning. It ain't if it was Mortal Kombat, you gotta start from the one. Get all the way. Did you hold on? I called you down here. You telling me about this game?
See,
hold on.
You can't pause it.
That's what I'm trying to tell
you. You can't pause it. Pops.
Generations that see us as parents. We may understand. Our children as parents will more understand that. They be like, oh, okay, So, like I said, it's different parenting. Man. I'm telling you. See, like to him,
I ain't even have an Atari. I got an Atari when they got me Atari 2600 when ColecoVision came out. Because it was on the bargain bin. You could get it for $20. Nah, cuz. Hey, yo. First of all, let's open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. First of all, Riis talk about he let his kids have overnight company.
They don't have.
That's not what he said.
12 o'clock and close. They can go in the. Can your kids go in the room and close the door with company of the opposite sex?
First of all, train up a child when he's young, so when he's old, he will not depart from it. My child is a different type of child. I'm telling you.
So are you saying to me?
And
I don't really want to go down this path because I ain't tripping, but I'm just saying. So.
If my son has company over, yes, he can close his door.
And let me ask you a question.
19.
Because you believe he's a gentleman.
Yes, he's 19.
Okay, so I am saying, I am not speaking to your son. In general, if the child can close the door with company of the opposite sex, then somewhere in the house, they're going to test the limit. Now, if you're not home, that's one thing, right? You're going to be, everybody probably tried to play the time, my mama getting here at this time, you got to get out the door.
So now, hold on. I want to pause. So now, if that is of your mindset, you don't think that as a parent that you have not that you have failed and you have not instilled that, like, you know what, in my house is respect. Is already respect enough for you to have company and come over. So you don't want to, like you had just said earlier. Isn't it a point to where you be like,
Riis.
nah,
Hey,
start
Riis.
the limit.
Hey, Riis. Hey, Riis. I'm gonna say this.
He's building trust and rapport. That's not based on sneaking around and being sneaky.
You come to me, you know, you have a conversation, and then
you say, "Hey, Dad, my girl coming through.
Can I? Yeah.
Can you and Mom turn the stereo up?"
See, that's not.
That's my point. This is where I'm going here. Like I'm inferring.
But all young people ain't
okay,
on
I
that,
got
though.
you.
That's what he's saying. He's saying I'm trying to raise my son in a way that he don't gotta.
You saying that every child is
No, I'm not. I'm not saying every, but I am saying that hormones is a mug. Hormones in your youth, like I'm just telling you. And I had a complete. Like, nah, dog, you're not closing the door just for the temptation of what could possibly. You know, it always start with a little hug. Then the next thing you know, you talk. So we gotta talk. Look, see, but that's probably because y'all so busy looking at these things.
Some of y'all ain't right. Robin Patrice talking about, I could care less about a game. You knew what I told you to do.
That's exactly my point.
It's not done.
Could you tell me?
On you. Get up now. Dang, mama, hold on.
Hold on, I'm about to beat the boy.
Don't make me come in here and unplug this mug.
I'm in a co-op. I'm in a gaming league, mama.
I'm gonna cut you. Don't make me come into.
Got to the level.
I'm gonna unplug this whole thing.
My friend group ain't gonna want to play with me no more if you do this to me.
Do your friends
yelling at me.
And that right there is going to cause you. It might cause trauma, you know. What I'm saying? See, now because their friends that are only on the game, because a lot of kids friends like really are on the game.
Robin Patrice,
go your ass outside.
Robin Patrice traumatized her children
for
making them get off the game.
Yeah,
this is.
You ain't even right, Robin Patrice.
I'm just telling y'all. You know what?
Can't pause it no more, man.
It's different types of games.
Online gaming. It's constant gaming.
They in gaming leagues.
I'm over here like
they making money off these games for their YouTube videos.
Then pay this mortgage. Then pay this damn mortgage. Pay me some rent.
Hold on. Wait, she on another level with it. She's talking about some, I've thrown a Nintendo DS out the window on Chicago Avenue.
Oh.
Do what the H I tell you to do.
Right. Like, I bought this mug. You don't even got to be playing it. Okay, so I got you a PlayStation 5, and you telling me when I ask you for a cup of water that you ain't got time to go get. I'm thirsty now.
I need a minute.
I'm thirsty now, and I need the light switch turned
off. So just imagine.
Turn the light switch off.
Just imagine you fighting Luke Cage, and you know what I'm saying, and your mom said, like, you know, it's like. But there's no pause. There's no pause.
Ain't no pause.
There wasn't never no pause before. But what is you talking about? Pause. You know what the pause is gonna be?
What is it?
You know it back in the day. The pause is gonna be this belt on your tail.
No.
Now I don't go that far. Right?
Just a little time.
Can your parents
Go ahead. I just need a couple of seconds. I'm gonna finish this part and I'll be right there.
And I'll come and bring your water.
I'll come bring your water. Is that okay?
Dad, I'm gonna bring your water. Just let me make it to the.
Put my dude right here, and then I can come there. You know, be like, okay.
And the games, they auto save now. So if you just let me get to the place where the auto save, I will be down there to give you your water.
I'm thirsty.
Too good.
Jeezy Pete.
Now
you can't be too thirsty, Pops, because you won't get up and get your own water.
You just want to bother me.
Please say that to me.
You just want to bother me.
Please pick either one of those, because you will never see the ends. You'll be backstage with your mama. You'll be mad. I hate him.
You know that's what they want to say.
You asking for stuff on the game.
Give me the illusion of respect. Say what you can say it all in your head all day long. Say it out loud. I dare you. Now, illusion that.
I be getting the water. You always want this.
Yeah, right.
And I drink out of it. I drink out of it.
You see Friday when the ice cube drop it.
Look, my thing was, and I want to see you pour it.
Here, Dad.
I want to see you pour it.
So you want me to bring the jug and pour it in front of you?
Nah, we don't have a jug. I see the water cooler. And I want you to go to the water cooler.
I'm going to stand in front of us so you can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, see,
you want some water?
Drink some.
Kids get tired of being all waiters, man. You call your kids for everything, man. Everything, man. You ain't doing nothing. You sitting there. Get up a little bit. Look at that. You like, nah.
Did you say I'm sitting there? I'm sitting. You know where I'm sitting?
In your chair.
In where?
In your house.
That who paid any? He paid how much on?
Look at that.
Hey, dog.
Free work.
You got a car?
Oh.
You go to paid school?
Not paid school.
You have every gym shoe you have a PlayStation 5. DJ Riis be up in here trying to find a PlayStation 5.
I got one now, but
I know.
saying.
I done gone out. There's not one thing in this place that you have asked me for. There's never been a time that you've gone to the store and said, "Can I have?" that you haven't gotten. You know,
gonna get your water? Just let me get to the autosave part in the game.
I'm gonna be like, you just wait till I come back next time to the stuff.
So, I mean, but you see, like when he asks you, like he'll be like, "I want it now." Do he say that? You know what I'm saying? And we're like, "No, let's go get it."
Are we
now.
the same? Are you equating me and my son as the same?
No,
like, do y'all not, didn't you just tell me something about pack animals? Don't they got a lead of the pack? Let me just be clear. The big piece of my son be at the crib now, and he be like, "You can have a big one. I'm just gonna take two." Look. And he done started coming downstairs with his shirt off. I be like, and he be walking, he be walking big. You know, I be like, dog, you're not that big. He be walking big. Like, his arms be out. I be like, dog, you're not that big. Nah, Joe.
Put your hands to your side.
Put your arms down.
It's different parenting. Now these kids are different, and because we have a lot of trauma in my generation, you know, we try to prevent trauma that we had.
That part right there.
You a video game. So
Come
wait,
on,
are you
Riis.
suggesting video game? You can be traumatized over video game.
That has caused a many.
We've seen people get killed over video games.
Exactly.
That's why.
You
That's
can't even
exactly
say
why.
anything on
You
PlayStation
lucky
no more.
I let you. You see these white kids done went crazy over these video games. You lucky I'm even letting you play.
So we trying to prevent how we was raised and all the trauma from us. And
Riis is right. There are some things that we experience that is like, I'm not going to do this to.
I agree. I don't beat you. But you gonna give me my damn water.
No, but the overarching thing is having that understanding of this particular situation. I, as an adult, cannot exert my power and control in the way that I want. I have to be willing to compromise and listen because only in this particular instance, them not getting to that autosave feature could be very detrimental to their gaming profile.
So let me tell you, growing up, detrimental would have been me talking about I need to get to the autosave. Let me tell you how that would have went. That would have went in 3, 2, 1. I would have been picked up by the nape of my neck.
That's trauma. That creates trauma.
Exactly. So I've decided I'm not going to do that. Give me my damn water. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Y'all, look. I'm around here talking about video game trauma now.
Well, that's just an example. That's just an example.
I got you.
We can
I was
talk about other
traumatized.
examples.
They made me cut my fingernails every day. My parents traumatized me because they didn't use Johnson. You remember? Was you traumatized when you had to get your hair washed as a kid? Because they get soap in your eyes? Or you got Johnson baby wash. That was trauma. I used to be so scared. I still be closing my eyes so tight when I wash my hair.
You just want your parents to hear you out and, to like listen and hear you because,
listen
like,
to your perspective.
Yeah, like, because what you like really, which is like a parent is supposed to be a parent, but like, it is sometimes hear your children out because how we was parenting could be a different way than how, you can parent your child and figure out, what works because everything like how you was raised might not work for, how you raising your children. We're all different people, and your parents raised you and Tennille totally different. So
and we both came out the same.
In a way, but y'all do have different features.
Who came out better, Riis?
Y'all came out the same.
Good answer. Good answer.
Who's nicer, Riis?
Well, it depends on the category.
Who's nicer?
Depends on the category.
Who's nicer? Who's nicer? Who has more pleasant?
Ask what category.
Jacksons are a nice family.
You said ask what category.
Have you been traumatized?
Yes, I have been traumatized. Yes, Justice, I have been traumatized. I tell you that. I just wanted to get to the auto. I just wanted to get to the auto save with the Jacksons. And they told me now, and I couldn't get to the auto save. But no, it's just like different ways, especially like I'm telling you, in the world today, children are not how we were, how you were, and stuff like that. So it's like different ways, and it's not like I know like we want to raise children how we was raised, but you can, but it also has to be like a little bit, like
it's
a
just
tweak,
about better communication.
Yeah.
I'm okay with better communication.
Say, it's like it can't be the old parenting style of my way or the highway. What I say goes. Like,
oh no, it's still my way or the highway. I'm gonna say I won't yell it. And we're going to firmly recognize that the boss is the boss. Now, I'm happy I will give you this. I will listen to you. Like, I'll listen. Or even if you tell me that
you are a good listener. Even if you don't agree, you will listen.
And I'll say, do what I told you to do. And I may look at you, and then as I come to it, you may have made rational decision that makes sense. And I'll be like, I see why you said that. Next time I'll listen, but like I said, do what I told you to do. Guess what? Because if you do what I tell you to do instead of what you want to do, you can't go wrong. It's my fault if I told you the wrong thing. But I ain't going to tell you the wrong thing. Let's go to the live line real quick. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Let me ask you this real quick. Mm-hmm. Can you say, can your kids say what? Can they answer you at what?
No. What?
Riis, look, it's the Maze Jackson show. Hello, because I feel like this is a real black thing. What? If you said what to your mama? Anyway, Jake, I hear you, man. I know it's my man Jacob Israel all the way from Houston. What's up, dog? How you feeling, man?
Man, bro, we were just raised different. And that's why this generation of children are out of their mind, Ain't no negotiating. You can say what you want to say. But if I say do this, you do it. And Riis hit it on point, but you got to raise it, from a child on up. You got to do it. If you don't do it, they're going to think they got entitlement. This is not no negotiation. If I say go do this, I don't hear what you got to say. Turn that game off. Turn it off. I don't care if you in 1,000. I don't care if you made $1 million off of it. When you're in my crib, that's just what it is. And what I would say, my mother had moved to Michigan, right, Kalamazoo. Man, the white boys, man, in high school, bro, they was living in nice cribs, man, and they parents used to buy kegs of beer for them. They'd be out for the whole weekend. Man, I got the white boys, they'd be like, hey, they call me, hey, Rock, yo, man, we having a party. I'm the only brother in there, and they came and picked me up I couldn't believe they came to pick me up. They come pick me up. They ain't mess with I can believe it, you know what I mean? I wasn't like the nerdy type because I was selling weed and stuff. You know what I mean? And then since the 9th grade, I was selling weed. They come pick me up. You know what I mean? The weed you got is garbage. And the beer, they had Lauren Broad. I don't know if you remember, that'd be Lauren Broad. They had Lauren Broad Dark. Hey! And man, I was so messed up, man. They had a coat room. Man, I woke up in the coat room. I woke up in the room. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" They took me back to where I was living at. But also, what I want to say, ain't no negotiation. When it comes to far as with children, you gotta teach them. You gotta give them value. That's why these kids in the city is doing what they do, man. And as far as within the room, man, I used to could believe that these girls' parents would let me go in the room with them like that. I think that's why, you know what I mean? I'm against abortion. I know I got someone pregnant, man. They had to be. And my sister was way older than me. And she'd be like, okay, if I'm bringing this girl on 81st Crandon from Michigan, and you don't think we go, but it's also a respect factor. I could, you know what I mean? I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I didn't do nothing in her house. But she got basement to the keys in the basement. We go to the basement, okay? I respected it. And my mama was in the choir. So I had 2 hours every Friday. I can bring up in there. Yo, it's just respect. But I just respected the rules, but you know what I mean? Got around it. Shalom.
All right, that is Jacob Israel. He said they was drinking Lowenbrow.
Now, he know that if his young person was making $1 million a year off of streaming video games that he would not be talking about turn the game off.
If he was making $1 million, I'd be bringing him water.
That's what he talking about. I'll make the J. Come on now.
Okay, but if you making...
Come on
If
now.
you making 60 cents, though, hey, yo, cuz, look, big bank tank, little bank. Now, if you got a professional gamer in the house, I got you. Cuz, but
how
if
you get there,
if
though?
You ain't get there if I'm getting water every 5 seconds.
Losing my rank because you need a sip of water, Dad. You just want to exert your parental control over me. You're not even thirsty.
Okay, well, I will not. How about I won't exert my parental cash neither. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We got to talk about parenting old school and new school. Because, man, I was just thinking, can you say what to your parents?
No.
Nah, stop. See, white parents, I know white kids. What? I tried that one time. You ever try to say what to your mama? Can you say what to your mama? Look, don't even tell me that. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't think nobody can say what to their mama. Black. I think that might be just universal. Look, give us a call. 872-259-7474. Old school parenting. Ruthie said, I gotta wait for my son to get off the video game before I can get a drink of water.
That is not what I said.
He gotta get his rank.
I said, wait, and can you at least make sure it all
just like 2 minutes.
No. Have you ever that video game people, 2 minutes to a video game person is 2 hours.
No, sometimes you know as a parent, like it's time, and then you tell people like on the game, like, y'all hold on real quick, y'all. I gotta go do something for my mom real quick. They be like, okay, so you be like, all right, man, let's get to this point real quick. It take about 60 seconds.
They be like, do you know who my dad is?
But if you yelling in the background, everybody can hear that. Like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, they can hear.
So they get my damn what? Wait, y'all can hear that? Look, we got. What do you mean they can hear that? Look, let's talk about this all when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back. They can hear me? Oh, when they can hear what I be saying? What you mean they can hear me? I be like, boy, if you don't get your, they can hear that?
You know they can.
How all right, look, you're gonna have to explain that to me when we come back. Anyway, Ed, can you say what to your mama to this day? Man.
It depends on how you say it. Not as in like what you want.
I be scared to say what.
Sound like a what?
I be scared to say what in a sentence. I be trying to rephrase. Like it'd be like what? How? What? You know how you be like what? What was your thing?
Is your mama your friend?
Now.
Maybe.
No. Maybe. Not like. Like it's like she's super cool, but it's like it's still my mama. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a lot older, but it's not my mama like it's Tennille mama. Because Tennille be like, Mom, I think Tennille, I tell my mom stuff. Like, I be like, Mom, you're just going to have to love me in spite of myself. She's like, Maison, I'll love you forever. Tennille be like, I'd be like, Ma, did you see Tennille got another tattoo? She'd be like, what? Tennille, what is... So, no. Look, we're going to talk about it all when we come back. It's the major. I have cussed. Have you cussed by your mom? Do you cuss around your mom?
No.
Let's talk about all this when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest Black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Up in the morning with the frown on my face, 'cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't want to see, working at a job that I don't want to be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why can't you just give it? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Working in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask that I think money grew on trees. I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime, but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. A dog life is scarce.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it?
Why can't they just give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
How the money ain't free. Every 5 minutes, kids bothering me. They seem to think that money grows on trees. Always asking for allowance and clean one thing. Sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it?
Won't you give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? 'Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to life, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mace and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressors all wrong.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my girl Ruthie Moore. Got my boy DJ Riis the rule on the ones and twos. We ain't even take the plane off. We just been talking smack in the airline. Ruthie, how you feeling today on a Friday?
You know, I love Fridays. It is one of my favorite days of the week.
Friday. So you imbibe? Do you imbibe on Fridays? You don't really imbibe.
Do I do what?
You don't really imbibe.
What is that?
Drink.
Never
you have
heard
a cocktail?
Imbibe.
Yes. You do you cocktail on Fridays?
Yeah.
I was you know what? I think
cocktail when I'm in the mood.
Okay. I was feeling like I want to have a cocktail. Maybe I'll have one this evening. Something tequila laced.
I like margaritas.
Margarita. I want to have a frozen margarita slushy.
I do not like frozen margaritas.
Do you get salt on the rim?
Yep.
I hate the salt on the rim, but
like
I like
sugar?
when they put that flavor stuff.
You like sugar on the rim?
No.
No?
Definitely. That's too sweet. I like spicy tequila drinks.
You do?
Like I like jalapenos or habaneros.
Oh, I had one of those. I tried it. I'm not the biggest jalapeno tahini tequila fan.
What's tahini?
You know, they put tahini like.
Oh, that's the red salt around.
They do the
tahini. Do you
tahini.
get your margarita in the glass, like, or do you get it in the rocks glass?
I get it on the rocks.
Like, but do you get it in the rocks glass, or do you want one of the big fruity glasses?
Nah, give me on the glass. I don't need the big.
Ruthie,
I don't need the stuntery.
You should do the stuntery. That helps. That's the effect. That's what makes the dude say, "Oh, but you don't want him. You don't want him to send you one, so he don't even know. He don't even know what to get. He don't even know what to get because he be like, "What is she drinking? Scotch?" Okay, I was just trying to be helpful. Anyway, y'all, I'm having a little fun talking about the things you can. Ruthie, you had a good one too. So let's talk about your mama, your daddy, and you. The good one you said was, Ruthie said, I still can't even say lie.
It's just the word you just don't say.
You can't say lie. You a story, right? You be like, they telling a story.
She's being untruthful.
Mama, she a lie. You get whooped.
Yeah, I can't even imagine saying that. Just certain things don't sound right that's coming out of your mouth to your parents.
Hey,
that or PISS. You can say PEE, but you can't say PISS.
ED?
And add it with off.
Now you can, but you like it was on TV. Anyway, let me do this because we forgot Riis too. DJ Riis the rule on the ones and twos. How you feeling today, dog, on this Friday?
Blessed by the best, you already know the rest.
Hey man, Riis, this be a Riis house like this. He be like, do you ever watch what's the Sex in the City and Just Like That? Did you see that? This Riis, there's a scene where this son and his girlfriend live in the house with his parents, and they be like, could you keep it down over there? And it's like they can't go to sleep, and then the girl come to breakfast in the morning. So can they, like, is there a point when somebody enters the family, like, how long you gotta be before you can be like, all right, I'm here for breakfast and I didn't leave? Did you ever have that in high school?
What?
Like, your son's significant other was there for breakfast?
Him.
She was there for breakfast.
Nah, like I said, like she usually gone by 12, man.
Okay, so it was no sleepovers.
Nah.
Okay.
She come over and they hang out, But listen, I'm telling you, man.
You like he different?
Yeah, he's different. And then as a child, like I'm telling, like you can't be like, I know everybody like be strict. I've been to college. I've seen them strict kids. The first ones to wild out. They ain't been nowhere. They ain't done nothing. They been chained up, man. You know what I'm saying? First time they get wild out, and then you look at the other kids. When they didn't experience a little, which isn't good, but you know what I'm saying. Just have a, like a little better communication. Don't do it.
I feel like I have better communication.
I don't do it, and they don't ever tell them why, because I said so. And now these kids get into life now, and they free. Like
they have no self-control.
I can't wait to, so like now they doing everything that they can get their hands on because they never been like they still have them rules and nothing. So like if they get in trouble, they like, man, I know better than but they're free now. It's their time to experiment and see nothing because they have never. They're 18, 19 years old, just now being able to think on their own. Besides being told, this is what I said, you do this. You know what I'm saying? Like because I said it.
So I'm somewhere in there. Somewhere. No, I am. I mean, I feel like I definitely parent differently than my parents. Although there are the values that I feel like that came from them, I just try to arrive at them at a different way. Right? I do agree with being super restrictive, because I was the wild child. However, I also think that there should be boundaries. And I think that people should understand boundaries. Now, for me, it ain't no girl in the room with the door closed. Now, even as a man, how I might be like, go get him, Tiger. If I still would be like, no room. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would be like, no.
Into what age? Like, you 20 or something?
I would say at your own house, at your own college dorm, at your own apartment, right? You can do what you want to do.
So he 25 dating a girl.
25. She ain't not. He ain't. If he 25,
he coming home for dinner. Stay in the room. Him and his
20.
Girl,
Hold on. Let me just say this: if he come home at 25 and he has a room at my house, then he probably won't have a girlfriend because he gonna be a failure.
No, like how like you come back to your parents.
Cause you gotta get a room. You gotta get a room. You ain't y'all can stay at the house.
Can't come at the house and
they can stay, but they can't stay in the same room. No,
he's 25.
Femo,
that is crazy.
Riis. No, you look. You ain't sleeping in the room. Y'all more than welcome to stay here. Y'all can get a room. I wouldn't be mad if you leave. But at my house, my rules. And I'm sorry. Like, son, I love you to death, dog. You killing. 40. You gotta go. You better go stay at the Soho.
40.
Soho. No, you. Hey man. And if you 40, you a player. So you really ain't trying to stay with your parents no way.
You want to wake up to Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner, you know, they want to do it.
They want to do. See, that's the problem. They want to do it in my house.
He wasn't talking about that.
He said they want to do it. No, ain't no doing it in my. Let me just tell you. And quiet as kept. When you're married, you better at least be quiet. I better not hear you. Now you can get the. Now I tell you, you married, y'all get the downstairs. Y'all can take the room on the first floor, right? Y'all got a bathroom. Y'all got entry, exit. You ain't got to worry about whatever. Y'all move how y'all move.
So he married. So if he married, he can bring his wife, and then he can I say that he getting married. Well, I hope he don't. But let's say that he married at no. I'm talking about the age at 23 or something. Then is that okay?
Yeah. She's a part of my family.
I gotta be married. Okay.
She part of my family at that point.
You gotta be married, Riis.
You gotta be married. Okay. Okay.
Right. I'm saying, and here's what I'm saying. I wouldn't castigate you for saying, Dad, because I know this your house and I know you ain't getting down. I'm gonna stay at the place. As a son, I would love for you to stay here, but hey, Joe.
What about engaged?
No.
They tough.
No.
Try to find a loophole.
Nah, that could be the loophole. You be like, I'm out now. I've been at the house. No.
Hey, then you know what I would have did, Ruthie? What? I'd have been like that. Minister Mays, you are ordained, ain't you? Get this thing going, then. We got 2 witnesses up in there. So I can go to sleep.
I don't want to see damn. Ain't no sleep. I'm going to marry you. You be
marry me so I can go to sleep.
And my son going to come
married now. My boyfriend. Can my husband sleep over?
Y'all wait.
Like
so wait a minute. Am I crazy? So y'all making it seem like I'm crazy here. Like
listen, I brought up the marriage part first. I agree with you. That is how it is in a lot of households still to this day. I said to you, you can have a baby by somebody.
But you was making fun of us.
No. I said I agree with you. Like, if you have a baby with somebody and your parents still might not let your baby daddy and you sleep in the same room.
Are you gonna let if that happened? Would you? At your house?
I'm more so from the old school of ain't none of that cohabitating unless you married.
Already cohabitated.
Y'all, but not in my house. It's my house. It's like I have. So do you not have rules that you expect people to follow in your home? Yeah. Like, can you just do what you do at your house in my house? No, dog. Open up the phone lines, because y'all got me feeling crazy. Okay, Ruthie, you got me halfway. Because you. I
agree with you.
Okay, all right. Riis.
But again, it's the illusion.
I'll take the illusion.
Because we already been doing the do. We got a baby.
Exactly.
So what's the motivation?
But you're not going to.
Come on.
And now when everybody sleep, I'm sneaking there.
Come on, what your name is. Make sure I ain't crazy around here. And please, could y'all call, because these people is crazy around here. What's up, Robert Patrice?
I'm not going to negotiate with nobody I gave birth to. Now, here's the thing. I have always given my children the time, space, and the opportunity to speak their minds respectfully. Okay, I give them that because my mom gave my sister and I that. We never got whooping. And that was because we knew how to communicate. We was talking at 3-4 years old, like, Mama, I don't know if I like that or whatever. Now, let me get back to the terrorism, okay? If I tell you in the morning, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, and when I get home by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it ain't done, I don't give a damn about a Call of Duty. Only Call of Duty that matter is what I told you to do. You didn't do it. That's on you. That's your time management. That's poor. So now, guess what we got to do? And if you don't do it, it's gonna end up on burn. And I have thrown out a whole Nintendo DS on Chicago Avenue. I don't play no games. I'm not playing with you. If I told you they had 8 hours,
What else you got to do? Now, as far as water, I get up to go get my own water. I don't mind you playing the game. I couldn't care less. Play the game. But when I tell you to do something, guess what you gonna do? It, period, point blank. And here's the thing, as far as saying what? I wish each one of them would. What? Who you talking to? Who you talking to? You say what? Who you talking to? You ain't old enough to say what. I'm 42. I still don't say what to my mom. And me and my mama like that's free. You understand me? And I'm a firm believer in parenting your children differently as they age. And you have to. I believe still at almost 42 that my mother is still parenting me. I still come to her for advice. And here, it's just, it is what it is. But if I tell you to do something, I don't care if you a gamer making $1 million. If you in my house,
come on,
do
Jake.
what I tell you to do.
You sound like Jake.
Otherwise, you.
Hey man, we from the 80s, the 70s and 80s.
If you making $1 million and you still in my house,
right.
We need to talk.
Liberate yourself.
He's 13.
It's just
I gotta liberate myself at 13. That is crazy. You need to hear this.
Everything is fixable. Everything is figure outable. If you don't like what I say, what I do, what I tell you to do, make it happen, Captain. It's plenty. Rent is high as audacity and gas. Have that. I'm gonna let you do it. You think you got the answers? These kids these days got the answers before you even ask the question. And you gotta let them figure out. You gotta let them fall and so forth. All I can do is lead you to the water and hope that you drink it the right way. But as long as you in my house, I don't care how old you are. I had to come back home at one point, grown, with kids. Guess what I had to do? Listen to what Patrice said.
Did you have a curfew? I had a curfew one time. I came home. I was 27 years old. Came back to stay with my parents for like 3 months.
I got to be back in the house. If my mama said you got to be back in this house by 12, 1 o'clock, guess what Janessa gonna do? Be in the house by 12, 1 o'clock? Period. And as far as closing the door with a boy, I had the same boyfriend all through high school. My mama knew his mama. They used to kick it. Let me have to go over his house. We got snowed in one year. Miss Janet had me sleeping in her room, and Dorian was in his room. She didn't play that. Same thing happened. Patrice was like, Dorian, here go your talent. You can sleep right on the floor. You can sleep on the couch. But ain't no in the room with the door closed. Hugging leads to hunting. That's all I'm gonna say. I love y'all. Happy Friday.
I see. I feel like y'all millennials and all have obviously become asexual. Y'all lost y'all hormones. I just feel like when you in high school.
He didn't say he was gonna let them be in the room hugging and hunching. That's not what he said.
Okay. So couple things. Can you have kids in the room with the door closed?
No, who does that? Like
Riis just said he did.
He didn't say that. He said, "Hey, y'all, close the door." But if it is closed, like maybe they having a private conversation.
In my house? What we talk about? Open this door. Open this door. Y'all better whisper. You better be like, I hate him.
I mean, for real, like in a certain, like, why you got the door closed in the middle of the day anyway? In the house, like
that's
we
my
ain't
point.
Even really have that kind of house. Like if a door, why that door closed? Like
right, but that's my point.
Y'all, like, you changing your clothes? Like that's the only reason why you like in the middle
so
of the day.
Why you playing crazy right now?
I'm not playing
why
crazy.
Are you playing crazy?
Because y'all better stop coming at Riis because
we love
Riis. But him
they just mad because if we probably put all our children together, mine would probably come out the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't say do this, do that. I form a connection, a bond to where my child can actually come, and we have a better communication, that I wish I would have.
A level of trust.
That I wish I would have had with my parents. These parents, you just trying to understand
but
it's cool.
I'm with you,
but I'm telling y'all.
Y'all, how you said, man, you had a curfew when you came back. Like, my parents ain't need to do that for me because I was going to be in the house at a reasonable time. So it's like you can, I think it's different ways to like instill certain values in your young people. And I think I would rather have good trust and rapport versus
it's
my way or the highway.
It's certain things that I feel like as a parent, if you have done your job as a parent, it's certain things that you should know your child would not do. To be trying to figure out what your child is doing every minute of the day, you have to be like, I feel like you have to be questioning your parenting. Like that's what it should be.
Wait, say that again.
To feel like you have to like dictate a word, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that your child does and everything. To like dictate and try to figure out every moment on what your child is doing. I feel like in my mind, you failed as a parent. You should have already instilled certain rules and, you know what I'm saying, in your child to where they won't do certain things. I feel as if I have instilled those rules in my child to where I can trust my child to do certain things and a certain outcome won't come. If you feel like you can't allow your child to do certain things because a certain outcome may come out, you should really question yourself, because what point have you failed at to understand that your child should be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because my parents said, you know, your friend, my son goes out with friends and a couple of them smoke. I've asked my son say, to be honest, I have thought about it, but no, I have not smoked. You know what I'm saying? You know, cool. He don't drink. These are things that I instilled in him that he just does not do. So that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like I have parented well enough to understand my child and what he will and won't do. Waking up late for class, he probably will do. You know what I'm saying? You know, going in the room, having sex, he will not do. I just know that he will not do it. Now, if you have a child, if y'all out there in the world have a child and you can't trust your child for that, hey, man, go look in the mirror, man. Check yourself first.
So let me ask, I don't necessarily think that it always has to be sex. I think it could be heavy petting. I think it could be,
You heard what Robin Patrice said.
What?
Hugging lead to hunching.
Hey, I'm just saying, at some point, this is me. I think that my parents did a tremendous job of parenting. I think that I would say that there are a lot of people who have done the best that they can. I would probably guess that if you were to ask any parent or any person, would they have ever expected that I would have done some of the things that I've done? I don't know that I would question my parents' parenting. I think that as a young person, you test the limits.
Interesting.
People.
And I think that's where the generations differ, because me and Riis's generation, we question how we were raised. Like, and it's no knock to like our parents or anything. We just recognize that sometimes their decision making was based off of whatever they had going on. And so when you look at just trying to not be like, do this because I said so, like no room for negotiation. And if I say something back, it's considered to be disrespectful because I'm talking back and I might get slapped in the mouth. Like, who, like,
I think we've all, I'm not gonna say we all, I would say I definitely have evolved past that. Like, I don't think, like, I do think that I'll have a conversation with my child.
So I feel like it's okay to say that because it's like a respect thing. It's like, and it's not an easy conversation. It's not an easy realization to come to when you realize, like, dang, my parents messed me up in this way. And I think that that's a conversation that millennials are more willing to have than y'all generation, because it's still seen as like a taboo subject to say that your parents failed you in this way, because we recognize that sometimes they was just really doing the best that they can with the resources that they had.
All them girls' mama that was so strict, man. Y'all wish I really knew y'all daughters.
So I would tell you that, but I would tell you that there's a lot of people who ain't. I think that's easy to say, but I would also argue that all the people who wasn't strict, I wish you knew your daughters. Right? Like, look, man.
They probably do.
Right? I'm saying we do. We do.
It's the
right?
illusion.
It's like, and I don't think it's the illusion. I think we all grow at different things, and different things appeal to us, right? Like, I don't think anybody grows up and says, my child is going to be a crackhead, or my child is going to be an opioid addicted person, right? It happens. And I think life puts a lot of things in your way. I will agree. Like, I have taken physicality out of any of my interactions with my children because I don't like it, right? I didn't like it. I felt like you ain't got to yell at me to get me. So I try to be judicious in how I communicate with my child. But there are some things to me that just are not negotiable. And when I say this has to happen, like we can negotiate and we can have all of this levity and all of this, everything else until I say, okay, time out. It's like I'm not really negotiating on you brushing your teeth. Like I think you need to brush them, but I'm not finna. Now, do you want me to brush them or will you be brushing them? You looking like, if you can't brush your teeth, if a child tells me at 7 he don't want to brush his teeth.
I think that's different from playing the game, though. Like, everything is contextual. There are some things that, and maybe negotiate ain't the right word, because as you can see, people who are in authority have difficulty using that word with their children. Like, what's wrong with negotiating with a young person? What's wrong with that? Like, why is that such a thing that people, I'm the boss. Like, control.
Man, it's necessary at sometimes. Let's go to the live line. Call you on the Mays Jackson show, because kids don't know better. They as much as we want to treat them like adults,
but they
like,
do though. They young people are. We don't give them enough.
Good morning,
credit.
Mays.
Good morning. Hold on.
Good morning.
I heard you. Hold on. Good morning. Young people know what their experience has given them. They do not know the world. And I think that part of what happens in some of these cases is we allow them, we want to give them the benefit of the doubt of the knowledge that we have in our mental computers, having had experiences. But at 8, 10, 12, sometimes that's not the case. Go ahead, Anthony. What's up, man? How you feeling this morning?
I'm good, and yourself, man?
What's up? I'm good.
Anyway.
Go ahead. How you feeling?
We're talking, I'm feeling good. Anyway. We're talking parenting styles, okay? And that's one of the conversations we need to have before we go to hugging and hunching and whatnot. Because if two people have different ideas on how to raise a child, that child's going to have trouble. Just like that whole family dynamic is going to have trouble. Now, if I don't know, back in the 70s when I was young and, trying things out, right? That was shortly before the government got involved talking about what you can and can't do to your kids or you'll be locked up. Okay, so a lot of stuff has changed since back then, man. I know you probably don't realize it, but parents used to have all the power and kids had nothing but, woes. Okay? If you didn't do what the parents said, you almost end up in the hospital. And that's why they had to regulate children getting beaten, because children were showing up in the emergency room half dead. So, and over time, my dad and I, because my dad raised me, right? He knew who I was, and he knew how willing I was to try things. But we would have to sit down and have conversations about these various things. He wasn't going to put no restraints on me, no governors on me and whatnot. But he wanted to know what I was getting out of whatever it was I was doing. Now, he kept the pulse on everything I was doing. I almost could predict, he could predict how things would come out, but he would let me do it so we could have a conversation. And I knew his record was much better than mine on decision making. All right. So, you have to had those open lines of communication. I don't know how to put this, frame this, but the child has to be given a little latitude. Like Riis was saying, you could tell the kids that had never been nowhere or done nothing because they got wild as soon as they got out the house. Okay, but hey, it had got to the point where I was doing what I wanted to do at the crib, and my father didn't mind the other kids being there either, because their parents knew where they could find it. We'd all be sitting in my backyard or upstairs in my room, out of sight of people saying what we was doing. So I don't know, man. Times are different now. Kids don't have the desire to leave home like we did, because I want to get out here and make all my decisions, until you get to paying rent and trying to get a car and all that stuff, and see how much people were sacrificing to make sure you had. But kids got it a lot different now. I don't envy them, but a lot of them are being coddled, So I don't know, man. And by the way, I want to say a shout out to Miss Ruthie. She did something, I told you that was our secret weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dude used to call up there talking all recklessly and whatnot. I ain't heard from him in a couple of weeks talking about what Miss Ruthie was going to say, and she went dead in on him. I like, oh my God, he finally woke that side of Miss Ruthie up, and she, you don't know me down. Oh Lord, I hope you don't reach through the phone and grab him by the neck. But that's that parenting stuff. I bet you he won't call up there talking crazy no more.
All right, Anthony, I appreciate your call, man. So I will say that I agree that there's difference in parenting styles. I just don't. Sometimes I feel like the kids are left to make their decisions. I hear you on the negotiation. I don't negotiate with my kid. Will I listen? Yes, I don't prefer that.
You do, but you just don't want to use that word.
It's
just something about it. You just don't want to use that word, but you do it all the time. If you take the time to listen to your son's perspective, and then you said that you might not change what you say, but at least next time you'll take it into consideration. I feel like that is that's huge. That's huge. That's negotiation.
Well, I ain't negotiating, but I do think that I have a different perspective on the game, right? Like to get into the level, et cetera, right? Like I do. Like I don't. So I feel like there are times when you just do stuff just because you can. I really work to not do that, right? Like I'm not going to say stop the game to get me water. If I say I want some water, you better explain it to me. You be like, can you please hold on 1 second because I'm trying to finish. But I think there has to be rules of engagement, and they don't set the terms of that rule of engagement. And I think it sets a precedent for as they move through life, as they prepare to take on. I had a topic on here about nepotism and is it a bad thing? And sometimes I think we think it is, but I want to talk about that too. But let's go to the live line because can I just say this? I knew people whose parents would let them go away for a weekend with their boyfriend or girlfriend, black or white. I also know white families or black and white families who be like, my kids are going, as they have reached this, we're going to our vacation home and they're going to stay together. And I'd be like, well, where's they going? And I think there's two types of parents, right? And you have to determine if these are the parents. I would let my child go somewhere with their boyfriend or girlfriend on a family trip, but I would make sure that they stay separate. Like if my son had a girlfriend and we went on a family trip and he was like, can she go? I would say yes, but it would be Carrie's responsibility. Like they could go hang out all day. They could go ride around. They could do whatever. But at night, ain't nobody getting in the same bed. Y'all crazy. They ain't getting no room. Me and Carrie probably got to sleep separate because me and the boy got a room now and her and the girl got a room. I don't know if that's crazy, but I would want the parents to know that I'm going to safeguard your child's, right? If you trust me with your kid, what you ain't going to worry about is your kid coming back manhandled. Go to the live line. Call you on the Mace Jackson Show.
Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, Reis? What's up, Ruthie?
What up, Devo?
Hey, man. I'm rocking with the millennials on this one, bro. Like, man, y'all be tripping, man. Y'all be tripping. You're parenting your kids. You're not parenting yourself. Raise them kids to be a better version, to reach their potential, to do what they need to do, man. Like, they gonna have sex. If you look, I told my son, I was like, look, bro, because you got to come clean with your kids. I said, man, this is what I did when I was your age. Hey, man, look, this is what the world is. This is what's in front of you. And he was like, that's just not me. And like Riis said, you gotta trust them, bro. You'll go crazy trying to figure out what they doing.
So this Devo, I'm with you. Like my son, I'm gonna be real with you. But fam, you respecting the crib. You just respecting the crib. You got a sister over here. Now your sister. So now they coming to the crib and Tegan gonna be like, "Big bro, what?" I'm sorry, I don't mean that. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah. I feel you now because I was mad disrespectful to my mama crib, dog. Like mad disrespectful.
While she was there. While she was there.
Yes.
Okay.
And my mama listened to this show, so God, I plead our Lord, I hope Jeanette ain't listening. But yeah, dog, it was mad reckless. It was mad reckless, and I was mad out of pocket, bro. And but you veer off the path, and hopefully the parents, you respect them, and you get back on the path, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think the difference is kind of when we grew up is. Generation X was the last generation that could afford to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, ain't nobody know or this, you could get away with certain stuff. But as the time has evolved, the kids can't make no mistakes. If you get caught making a video about, your rap video, they could, get rid of your scholarship. Like, and so the kids understand that, so they ain't really trying to put themselves out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just be open-minded. But I will say this. When we get on the parenting conversation, it's real important that, we respect the people that have children. Because otherwise it's just speculating on what you would do, but you can't cosplay being a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because the act of parenting, it tests your limits, man. It tests your spirit. Because everything you say, man, I would never do, and then you do it. Like, if they say, hey, man, I got to just finish this level. I remember when you couldn't put the game on pause. And your mama tripping, I ain't going to do that, man. Like, nah, it's just, I love you. And, yeah, it's soft. It's soft. Because you like, man, I'm hard. I'm from this, man. But it's a compassion, it's an empathy, it's a love, and that's what we missing in the community, and it reflects in our parenting styles and how we talk about parenting. All of this is a reflection of our environment. The environment make you hard, so I gotta parent you like you hard. When the truth is, I need to be soft with you, just so you don't be hard like your environment. I cry. Man, you can cry, bro. It's cool. Because if you go out here and you tear something up, now you locked up. That's what I'm avoiding. I don't want you to be in jail or to not have the appropriate conflict resolution. So that's it. But my wife is the disciplinarian. I'm the soft guy. I'm the one that put it all together. It's just roles. But like, you got to understand the dynamic of your relationship. How you love is how they gonna love. Yell at your woman and see if your son or your daughter don't reciprocate that in their relationship. So you're teaching them how to model certain behavior. How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with stress? How do you manage your drinking or your smoking? They looking at all of this. And you think that they're not going to do that? You a fool. I don't care how much of a tyrant you are as a parent. They going to do the exact same thing that you do. So you got to watch yourself. If you know you like to drink, hey, man, don't be drinking in front of your kids like that. Or you do it responsibly.
That's the illusion.
If you like to smoke,
no,
bro,
smoking
you can't.
That's
you got to keep it real
smoking.
With them.
Right.
Son, you got to keep it real with them.
You can keep it real, but you can also. So I'm with you with keeping it. So this is my thing. I feel like there's a difference between being a tyrant and parenting, right? And trying to give your children the tools that are going to make them successful. Now, I'm not going to beat you, right? But I am going to tell you that we, to me, leave a lot of decisions now up to what the children feel or what their thought process is.
That matters.
They
are human.
I don't debate that they're human. But they don't. But hold on. They can be human, but they are not always. I don't feel like they're right in most cases. Let me not say most cases. They have a right to an opinion, but essentially, when we talk about, I'm 50 years in the game, fam. Like you may think you know. You may think you know. You could be 40. But if you ain't had the experience, and I'm telling you, cuz if you go this way, I'm telling you to do these things now because you're going to learn them from me or you're going to learn them from someone else. And to me...
And they
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, they're learning from you. But my goal my vision as a parent is to raise children who know how to activate their voice. And I don't want to hinder them using their voice. So if, I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. And sometimes they know, you're raising intelligent, beautiful people and they know stuff, bro. Like they have a perspective. So communicate your perspective.
Famo, you can communicate your perspective all day long, but if your perspective is from that of an 8-year-old who's never been to a restaurant, who has never had to cut no, I'm just saying, like, so wait, I'm gonna let you make decisions based on how you feel at 8, 9, 10 years old?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, no.
Dog, you got people who go. You got people who go to restaurants and don't even let their kids order what they want.
They want to cross the street, so let them cross the street when they want to cross.
No, you're taking it out of context.
Nah, dog, nah.
But
bro.
You're taking it out of context. Dog. But if your 8 or 9 year old has a desire to cross the street, you as a parent then teach them how to properly cross the street.
They say, I don't want to cross at the corner.
Hold on. Don't tell them you can't cross the street. No, show them how to properly do it.
They say, I don't want to cross at the
corner.
corner.
You just moved the goalpost.
I didn't move the goalpost.
Yeah, you did. Because they don't, you're right. So they may not understand the hazard.
This is my point. They want to cross the street. Fam, I'm going to teach you to cross the street, but you're going to cross the street at the corner because that's the light. I don't want to cross the street at the corner. It's not moving the goalpost.
Hold on. Are you showing that? When you cross the street, are you crossing at the corner or are you crossing in the middle of the block? In front of them. They're modeling the behavior that you do.
Fam. When it's my
kid, not gonna listen to what, bro.
But I'm just telling you, listen to me, Devin. Listen. When I am with my children, I am conscious about where I cross the street. I am. Now, I will tell you, I have been a terrible example as a driver, and I see it, right? I have been a terrible example as a driver, and I see it. I have also been a great example as a street crosser, and I see it, right? I am not going, because my son, I am not going to give him the leeway to go get hit by a car because he feels like he wants to cross. It's the nuance of the decisions that are being made, right? I'm not, like, if the kid wants to go into the room, they can go in the room, right? But you're going to keep the door open. Now, the kid says, you trust me, you should trust me to close the door. I say, fam, I trust you to have somebody in your room, but you got to keep the door open. And that's just because it ain't because of you. It ain't because of how you feel. It's just because of how I feel. And it's my damn door. Now, you might not explain that, but at a certain point, you aren't always in control. Go ahead, Devin. I'm sorry.
I understand that. But they're modeling the behavior that they see us doing as parents. Or if you're not a parent with a lot of presence, they're modeling the behavior that they see around the people that models the behavior that they trying to emulate. The whole thing with the door thing is, like, I got an issue with you having a girlfriend as a young person in my house. Like, why you got a girlfriend? Why you got a boyfriend? Like, that's a whole nother symptom of a whole nother issue. You know what I'm saying? Because What I mean, like, what we already know what that lead to.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So
wait. What does having what does having a boyfriend or girlfriend lead to? Because you can't say it's leading to sex.
Shit.
You can't possibly say that. Because I just got through saying,
man,
I don't want the door to be closed.
It leads to hunching.
No, hold on.
Why you letting them?
So wait, you ain't train your child. Hold on. You ain't train your child to be respectful. That when the door is closed, how did you treat the door when the door was closed, Devin? How'd you treat the door when the door was closed?
Dog, my upbringing and my kids' upbringing was different. That's all I can tell you. It was different.
So
I told you when the door was closed.
Was it right?
When I was a kid?
Yes. When the door was closed. Go ahead.
When the door was closed as a kid, I was pushing the boundaries because at that age I didn't understand the dynamics of these decisions.
Wait. But that's what you felt as the kid. And did your mom, as we said, should we be questioning your mom's parenting?
No, I did not. I did not have that conversation with my mother. I did not. And I had no father in the house. That's what I'm telling you.
I understand.
So my upbringing is different than my children.
Exactly. So did you put the best of what you knew to your children or the worst of what you experienced to your children?
I put the best. And I was like, look, hey, these are the repercussions of your decision. Man, I ain't trying to be no daddy. I ain't trying to be on that. Hey, Dad, I'm not on that.
Devo,
all right, I trust you, son. Go ahead and handle your business.
Devo, so
bro, I'm just saying, dog.
Devo, I'm with you. I'm just asking you respectfully. So, you had a sense of what happens when the door closes in a house. You were mad disrespectful to your mom's house. I'm looking at Keon. We're describing it as being disrespectful to their homes. That's how we were. That's how I didn't pick those words. Y'all picked them. Disrespectful to our parents' homes. Now, my question. So, do I interpret disrespectful as good or bad? Help me understand how I'm interpret that. Is disrespectful a good thing or a bad thing?
Okay,
wait. No. Let's do it. Come on. So is disrespectful to our parents' house good or bad? Yes or no? Good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Bad.
So now,
Bad.
if you know that you are, just like if I was beat as a child, that's good or bad? That's bad. So I say to my children, I would at least like you not to repeat the things that I know don't have positive outcomes, whether you're a good parent or not, right? Because your kids aren't going to always do what you want them to do, right? My parents tried to, and that goes for good or bad. I saw somebody say all the girls that parents were strict got pregnant and they left college. No, that's not true. There are wild people in every group. Now, I will tell you that people who are cooped up are definitely wilder. And I definitely say that I have adjusted my parenting style to be able to go to a place, because my parents started from a place of no. I start from a place of yes. How can we get you to what you want to do? But in that, I am going to establish the parameters of what it is, and I'm going to set some guidelines and some rules based on my experience. Now, if you want to do what you want to do, you have to go through these channels because I'm the parent and because I know better than you do. Now, you may feel everything else in the whole entire world, but if you cross that street in the middle, you are going to get hit. Now, you might make it across once or twice.
Okay.
So, all I'm saying is there are things that if you describe being disrespectful to your parents' house and you love your parents, but you don't even see it that way because at that point you just in love. All I want to do is I want to help put some guardrails in place. Now, I'm not saying that Riis's children, I'm not dissing your son. Riis, I'm sure there are plenty of people who can go in the room and close the door. Right? Like, and I don't want to say that every kid that goes in the room and closes the door. I am saying that I am a young man who had hormones and understood what happened to me in adolescence. Right? And if I could get away with it, whether I was the pastor's son or what, I was going to try it because Charlie talks way louder than the Holy Spirit when you're sitting next to your girl that you fell in love with. And I am saying that I try to at least put in parameters that allow my child to be not to have to be in the temptation. Is he going to have it? Yes. Is he going to cross? Yes. Do I love him? Yes. If he makes a mistake, he knows he can always come to me regardless. But I do try to say, try not to make that mistake. She may smell really good, right? I don't know. So will your parents buy you condoms? Would you buy your children condoms?
You're asking him, right?
I'm asking everybody.
Yes.
Okay. Ruthie?
Yep.
Devo?
He's gone, but I send my child down there. Definitely.
Okay, so I'm saying, do you buy him and leave him on the bedstand?
No,
you go close the door?
I think. It's not just about condoms. Like, sex education is comprehensive, so that needs to include talk about mental health, like drug use, nutrition, all of those things. Sex education is comprehensive. So if you the type of parent then are you gonna have that comprehensive, or are you just gonna say don't do it because I said so?
Right. He was going to college. You know, like I'm not. It's like, son.
I think that sex is a fact of life for all of the kids, and it's even more hypersexualized now. So I think throughout the time, I think you have these conversations, right? Like we've been having these conversations, and they progress based on just situations, reactions, all types of things. If I know my child is having sex, or if my child asks me, I would probably educate him, but I would also make sure that I try not to have another grandchild before he was prepared.
But peep how this conversation keep going back to sex.
What?
Just peep how the conversation keeps going back to sex. We got a problem in our communities.
This conversation was about what happens when the door closes. So yeah, I think that was the genesis of it. I think if we talk about,
it evolved into that, and it begs the larger conversation of comprehensive sex education is necessary.
I won't debate that. I mean, I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. That all the comprehensiveness education in the world still does not change the rules of my house, right? Doesn't change the rules of my house.
That's what we saying. I think that's fine. Like, your house rules, your house rules. It's your house. You make the rules.
Right. So when we was talking about D25 and he can't, no, dog, you can't. And I think we started at the same space. You ain't what the door closed for.
So the door can be closed, period, or just with the opposite sex?
I would say so let's back up. No, back up. Okay. I don't see why the door would be closed. Like, in my house, there's no reason for the door to be closed. Like, I let my boy close the door now because he off in the corner. But if there was I definitely would be like, if it wasn't closed, I'd be opening it every 3 minutes. I'd be walking upstairs. What y'all doing?
Just two people of the same sex. They can be closed. I'm sure like a lot of us don't. And that's
definitely millennial. And that is definitely millennial, family.
So you ain't never had your cousins over, your homie over, and y'all just like came in the room, like just like chill and close the door?
Yeah, but I think the whole reason of the closing the door with the opposite sex has a certain kind of, and again, for me,
in today's day,
check it out. Right, guess what? Right? And were that the issue for my son, right? Then the rules would be the same. No, you can't have the door closed with no same sex. Now, obviously, we've had the conversation on numerous occasions, right? So that's not really my concern, right? The reason of the door being open is, as Ruthie said, the temptation of hunching, sex, whatever, right? Real talk. So if I knew that was the potential outcome of the door being closed, male or female, then the answer would be, no, you can't close the door. Right?
I think one thing that I disagree with you about in all of this, because I agree with the majority of what you're saying, but I do not agree that young people don't have feelings and that they
I never said they don't have feelings.
You said you did. You said it's and you can't make decisions. You ain't got. You don't understand. No. I think that I think young people deserve to have their autonomy and their feelings respected. And even a 3-year-old can make certain decisions for themselves in a sense of developing them into healthy people. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with taking the time to communicate with a young person so that they can learn how to make healthy decisions for themselves. So if you always telling them what to do, they don't necessarily come to that on their own. So I think part of like instilling those values is to give them a little bit of freedom so that they can make decisions for themselves.
I think that the level of decision that you get to make is based on your progression in your age.
100%, always age appropriate.
If it was confusion as to do I believe we should listen to children? Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that you listen to children because they're gonna tell you what they really feel. They're like, you want to hear a child just because they'll tell you something bad happened, something good happened. I think. So I don't ever I would feel like I want my children to always feel like they can be heard. Like I do feel that. Like my kids will be like, I don't agree, but guess what? That's great, and I'm gonna sit here. But now it's time for you to do what I asked you to do. I'm sorry you disagree, but this is what I need. Now, if there's something that makes rational sense, yes, I will say, oh, I'll look at that.
The thing I notice about young people nowadays is that they'll call you out for stuff. And that's where that's the boundaries that if your parents said something to you back in the day and you say, well, you do it. You knew that was poop poop. You wouldn't say that because that was deemed to be disrespectful. But young people nowadays, they are a little bit more apt to say, well, you do this. And people think that that's disrespectful.
I would say just like this.
I've
earned the right to make my mistakes. Now, when you decide that you can pay and you have but you can take the responsibility of what you are taking, the actions that you are taking, then you can go ahead and make those choices as well. But if you cannot handle the responsibility that comes with the choices that you make, and I have to pay for the consequences, or I am responsible for the choices that you make because you said what I did, look, fam, you can have all that, but how you taking care of it? I have made mistakes, and the reality of being a parent is ideally you are trying to prevent your child from making the same mistakes that you have made. Now, some of them they're going to, but you would hope to say, I try to tell my kids, I don't want you to go the long way around. You can look at dad now and be like, man, you did it. And I'll tell you, son, yes, I did it, but it took me an extra 15 years. Yes, I did. Yes, I did go to jail before. Right? That wasn't a plus. Just because I did it doesn't mean that I want you to do it. And ideally, as a parent, I can help you avoid the pitfalls that I have made so that you can take the next step. But if you don't get any benefit from what I've learned, then you starting over because you decide that you want to relearn that the stove is hot. I can't just tell you, please don't touch the stove.
No. That don't always work.
Okay, and then now there are some kids you can say don't touch the stove, and guess what? They're not gonna touch it. Then there's gonna be a kid that touches the stove, burns his hand. I'ma still wrap your hand, but I told you not to touch the stove. Now you gotta walk, and there are two different kinds of kids, right? And there's not two, there's multiple kinds. But I would be terrible as a parent if I said, "Oh, go ahead, touch the fucking stove, burn your hand." No,
ain't that what that man did when he gave you that cigarette?
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Now, let me ask you.
Never touched a cigarette.
Okay, can I say this though? But I probably would have had the same. Okay, so so what happens if I took it and agreed to it? What if I liked it? What if that's the same thing that the person gave me some heroin?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Exactly.
Happens all the time.
Congratulations. How that work out for them?
Where our parents do stuff and we pick up them same traits.
And I'm saying.
It happens all the time.
I'm saying give your parents.
Don't do it. But you do it. It's in the refrigerator.
Oh, well, I feel like I think that's your parent. I think that's the parent that you have. Right? Like, I think that's literally the parent that you have. Like, so if they tell, like, you ain't gonna probably see me telling my son, don't drink. Because we have a whole liquor cabinet. I'm gonna say, brother, you can't drink till you 21. Don't touch nothing over there. And I'm not running around marking bottles on stuff. I'm saying, man, brother, I'm asking you, don't touch the alcohol. Yeah. Right? Now, maybe he takes advantage of that. I would say he doesn't.
He gonna die.
Huh? Go ahead, say.
You know you're gonna touch the alcohol. You know you're gonna. Yeah.
And again, so think about how you can say that, but then when I say close the door, right?
Because he did it. Remember, Riis said he did it, and so his mama started marking the bottles.
And I'm saying that the same level of trust that you have, right, for your son, not when you close the door, not taking advantage of.
You know, I can agree because my son does not like alcohol at all. Like, so you know what, you're right. So I can leave a bottle, and my son, you're right.
I mean, I think that we know hopefully, if you're engaged with your children, you know them somewhat. Now, I don't think that there's a lot of parents that knew that their kids was drinking or doing all the things that they do. I think we to not warn your child or to not give them the advantage of your mistakes, that is a failure as a parent. And even if I have an addiction, I still don't say because I got it, you should get it. Now, I'll still say, please don't do drugs. And you can say, well, you did. Okay, well, come on. Let's all be some hypes on Madison. Go to the live line. Call you on Mays Jackson Show.
Good morning, family.
Good morning. What up, bald head? Hey, man, we need some rib tips, dog.
I got you. Let me know. Look, I've been sitting here holding on a long time. I'm an old head. Now, I was taught that we have boundaries, and if we don't teach our children boundaries, they don't have respect for authority. Period. When we were told don't do it, don't do it. Now, when I was told you can't do that at 17. I wanted to have sex. I want to do what I want to do. So I had to leave my parents' home because they had rules and regulations. Now, my older children, I taught them the same way. Now, my younger one, you all know very well, I'm teaching him a little bit differently. We do talk. We're able to discuss certain things, but there still is boundaries. He told me, like Ruthie said, he put his arm around a young lady in church. And I said, you can't do it. I kept doing it. He said, Dad, stop. Then when we got out of church, he said, well, I see you do that to Mom. I said, that's my wife. That's somebody else's daughter that you're trying to hug in church. He said, but Dad, I'm just being a friend. Okay, well, you don't do that. The next Sunday, the man had his daughter up there with him. I said, see, now you can't even sit with your girl no more. You know what I'm saying? So we have to learn boundaries. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn. And
boundaries.
And we want to tell you like this, if we don't teach them to say, this is what we can and cannot do, when you start dealing with the police, the law enforcement, because they tell you, oh, wait a minute. You can't tell the police, wait. When they tell you to do something, they mean do it right then. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to go against their thing, but if we don't teach them that you have to say no and you have to listen, what are they? That's why we're in a position right now with the young people now. They have no respect they have no boundaries, no respect for authority. Nobody told them no. You know what I'm saying? You still have to listen to your children, but they don't run anything. I was brought up, you get knocked upside the head. You know what I'm saying? And for him to tell me, Ruthie had me laughing. The kids not today, yeah, Dad, you do it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, and I appreciate you.
That's funny. I got a joke about that. Go ahead.
I appreciate you guys listening to me. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ballhead. We appreciate you. So one day, I'm going to tell y'all a funny story. So one day, we was driving down the street, right? And we rolling. You know how when you driving down the street and somebody got some, like some, whoo! And you drive through it and you be like, damn! And so I drove through it and was like, damn! And my son said, that smells just like your garage. And I was like, but he did it in a way that I couldn't be like, right? Like he did it in a clever way where I couldn't be like, boy, because I really wanted to be like, boy. But I was like, damn, you got him. That's your cousin. That's your uncle, dude. That ain't me. So I think that we want better for our children, right? And there is something to do as I do, not as I say. He did it so slick.
But
I
Maze,
really wanted to steal on him, but I
you
couldn't.
can't.
I couldn't.
I got to like my youngest niece is 8, and she said a bad word. Right? She cussed, and I was like, "Whoa, what you know about that word?" And for sure, she said, "Well, that's how y'all be talking." No. So
how do I?
So how can I like?
Because I'm grown.
No,
because I've earned this right.
Nope, that was not the approach. The approach it's not, you don't do this. Like, it's okay, well, this is what this means. This is why you shouldn't do it. This is why I can do it. And you probably was ear hustling and wasn't supposed to hear that. But the fault is not on the young person. It's on me for saying whatever I said in front of them.
And I'm saying to the young person, so when I say don't say it, it's because grown folks can and you're not. When you turn 18, and then when you turn 21, then when you turn 25, because I'm going to keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah, because that's what you do.
I do. But you're going to give me my respect.
See, let me tell you. See, the top commenter, in my humble opinion of the day, is Kiana Hughes. Because Kiana been keeping it real in the chat, and she's saying, well, most of y'all are too taboo for some of y'all to want to admit to.
What is it?
Look, I've been noting the wonderful comments because I said I'm gonna bring these. She said our kids see past the facades we put up for them. That's why I was saying earlier that it's about the illusion, and it's really about the illusion. And I think that nowadays there is less. We are less inclined. Like, I got sent outside when the grown-ups was doing their thing. They used to send us outside. Now, yes, we used to come back in to see what was going on, and trust and believe I sat down until they noticed me because I want to know what y'all up in here talking about. I want to drink wine and talk SHIT, but like it was clear boundaries. Like, no, you need to go outside and play.
But Ruthie, that's what I'm saying. Like, we still have clear boundaries. Some kids don't.
But I'm saying, like, people don't necessarily send their young people out like that anymore.
Ruthie.
They be in it's really technology has made made the curtain go away, made the veil be lifted. Like, it has made it so that we are exposed to everything at such an early age. So you can't necessarily pretend like y'all don't be putting on the Richard Pryor records when everybody go to sleep. Like, you can't necessarily do that now.
I feel like here goes my thing. We wasn't hiding it. Like, it's not for you.
It was hidden. That's what made us want to try to explore it so much, because it's certain stuff that y'all would not do in front of us or would not say in front of us.
But what I'm
so
saying
we had to sneak and do it.
But I'm saying it wasn't hidden. It was move around. It was y'all get up out of here.
It was a facade.
I don't think it's a facade. It is. So it's not a facade if you smoke and you tell the kids to get out the house. It's not. It is, I don't want the kids to get a contact. It is not a facade that we're going to drink and we say we shouldn't be around here.
Facade, an outward appearance that is maintained to conceal a less pleasant or credible reality. You don't necessarily want your young people to know what y'all was up in there doing.
So should we instruct them on sex too? We're gonna have to come back, because I feel like we have reality confused a little bit here. Like, I just don't think everything is for children. It's just not. And it's like, that's not being fake. That is protecting. That is all types of stuff. But every child doesn't need to know everything. Save something to be an adult. Damn. Like, if you're a child and you know everything, the worst thing in the world to me is a child that has nothing to look forward to. That feels like that sits up and is with the adults and have a grown folks conversation and can't be excused and can stay up in all the conversation. Famo, There's times when the kids ain't supposed to be here. That's not a facade. That's grown folks' time.
Nope, didn't say that was a facade. I just told you that example of that clear, distinct boundary that used to exist with you having to go outside because there was some things that you were not supposed to be privy to. I said that. We agree on that.
So, wait. So I'm lost.
We agree on the concept of there are things that you are not supposed to expose your children to. We used to get sent outside. I agree with you on that.
Okay. All right. We're going to take some calls when we come back. Because I got to go to the bathroom. Mr. Mays Jackson Show. Damn, man. We ain't talking about nothing on this paper. We
that's
ain't
you.
even did no damn
That's
headlines.
you. Me and Riis been trying to get the news out.
We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
This is Monster Jam, the official Monster Truck Series. Witness the world's best drivers competing in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Be part of the action. Let's hear it. Make some noise. Brought to you by Great Clips. Get your savings coupon from participating Great Clip salons and save 20% on select tickets. See savings coupon for restrictions and details. Coming to Allstate Arena September 16th through 18th.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest Black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
You ever blame yourself for some shit you didn't do? Carry the weight for love, kept it moving, ain't never look back. 'Cause I see the bigger picture of being a victim. No, things get hard, you gotta be strong, I've been right there with you. So live your whole truth and be your whole you. Yeah, they can talk behind your back, but they can't hold you. I don't keep my drama, all my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle pushing on the gas. Hey, I've been moving in the fast lane. Don't be looking in the past, 'cause when you're looking, you get past. Don't get it twisted, I ain't forget. You know I've been through a whole bunch of this shit, 'cause I put a line on that song 'cause I'm thick. Can't nobody question I'm legit. I've been on the move, 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 move. Move, make it do what it do. Ain't got nothing to prove. Redefining the cool, hey. I don't keep my drama, all my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name.
You are listening to the Mays Jackson Show. Sparkle, sparkle. Hey, Riis, you know we didn't do Ruthie, and I got to do this with you, too. You know what we forgot to do? We forgot to give a shout-out to our boy. Because, you know, did I tell you, Ruthie? Did you know that the doctor, the good doctor, Reverend Willie Wilson, has agreed to be our first mayoral advertiser? So, Riis, turn up the thing. And then callers, if you're on the live line, we're going to take it. We got any calls on there? Okay, y'all, I done hung up everybody. Y'all done been gave up. I'm going to do this Willie Wilson commercial, and then we going to come
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
2021 marked Chicago's deadliest year in a quarter century. Crimes and gang-related violence continue to increase year over year. We can stop this violent cycle by implementing trade schools for young adults, former inmates, and other Chicagoans to learn valuable skills, providing opportunity, education, and economic empowerment. Choose Dr. Willie Wilson as mayor so we can keep Chicago safe together.
I approve this message.
Dr. Wilson calls a Dr. Jackson. I want to advertise on your show. I've been spending money everybody else. I'm going to advertise with y'all. I was like, Dr. Wilson, even if we don't always agree, you know you my man. Mm-hmm. So Dr. Wilson said, you ain't got to mess around. I got you. All right. So Ruthie, Riis, everybody, these children, what you do when they say no?
They're not saying no.
What you do when they say no?
To what?
I don't want to.
To what?
Give me some water.
No, they're not really saying.
Ain't nobody
no.
gonna say no.
They're not really saying.
What if they just don't do it?
I would ask. I wouldn't tell. Go get me some water. No, I would ask them.
Yeah, can you give me a glass of water at the refrigerator? You know what I'm saying? I mean, or I could say, hey man, give me some water, but you know, it's not. Really
I ain't gonna be like, go give me
some water.
No, I don't ever want to be like the evil dad. So I'm always trying to be cool, but I am gonna be
that.
Like,
and my mom. See, I think the reason why I don't do it because my mom used to make. I told you I lived in the basement. She stayed on the second floor. My mom used to call me to turn off her bedroom light. Okay?
Oh,
okay.
Got a problem with that?
Yeah.
You got an issue?
My mama used to call me to get her some water, and I got.
That's what you got kids for. What do I clap her? Come on down here. What you doing? You sitting up there? You ain't doing nothing. You just watching TV.
You know how many shoes I
You got cable too? You hold on. You got DirecTV? You got how many channels? You got all the channels? Yeah, come on down here and get that. You don't even know. Let's go to the live line. Let's see what the people.
I can YouTube everything. I don't even.
Jesus Christ, D-boy. Right. It'd be funny.
1,000 channels.
He do be like that. He be like, I told you, this dude, boy. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. That's why I'm like, I paid a bill on that phone too, though, dude. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be caller. You on the Maze Jackson Show?
Yeah. You know, the one word I haven't heard mentioned here is discipline. And that's what is lacking in most of our children today. You hear a lot of parents say, I'm not going to raise my kids like my parents raised me. But hell, they turned out all right. So what's wrong with emulating what your parents did? But they listen to white folks' version of raising kids. And what we got is what our community is turned into now. Kids shooting up the neighborhood and babies having babies who don't know anything about discipline because all they can pass on is an undisciplined form of behavior. And this translates into when they go out into the world to work, they make poor employees because they're undisciplined. They go into the military, they can't function there because they're undisciplined. We can't be disciplined.
Go ahead.
We can't be disciplined enough to organize politically. This translates all the way down the line.
Caller, first of all, let me tell you, thank you for calling. So discipline in this case does not mean whippings or beatings. It means the ability to have self-control in various situations. That is part of what I feel like I'm talking about and what you teach. Like if the child, like it's not gonna always be your way, and it's not gonna always be somebody negotiating with you. Now, I will say that I really, like, one of the things that I did not like was getting yelled at. So I really refrained from yelling, and I didn't like getting physical. So I refrained from physical, and I've taken those things out. But I do feel like there is so much leeway that when a child has to do something, they can't even focus because that's not what they want to do. Like, so when you go to work, it's like it goes even into the workplace when people be like, I want to get paid this much for what I want to do, not what needs to be done. And then it's like, if you don't get what you want, then it's like everybody bogus. And I do feel like, what?
Wait, what? How did you get from there to?
Because
that sounds personal.
No.
Because if you going and the average job is, I'm going to do this thing. Like,
no, I feel like, no. See, so I feel like, and when he talks about discipline, you said, no, personal. No, I feel like when you, here, to get where I am, I had to do things that I did not want to do. My parents said, before you can turn on the TV, all of your chores need to be done. I didn't say why. I knew that I just needed to do all of my chores before I turned on the TV. How does that translate now? That means that I get all my work done before I go somewhere else. I feel like now you can't ask people, to me, your parents give you the tools to survive in the real world when the person doesn't care about you. Right? Like, I care about your success. I want you to grow up straight, so I'm trying to teach you things that are going to make you be able to survive when the person on the other side does not care about you. When they don't care about what your issue is, what happened, they don't care about your parents, etc. They're going to say, you got to do this job. If you can't sweep the floor, if you can't get it done by the time I need you to get it done, I don't need you. And I think discipline, doing what you're told by people who are in authority above you. Now, I'm not talking about like white racist police, but like at your job, in your workplace, in your organization, all of those things, if you haven't had to follow instruction, when do you learn to follow? And when people aren't trying to coddle you, per se. When they like, look, dog, you got a job to do. I don't really care about your issues. I don't care about your person. You just got to do it. I feel like there was nothing in the workplace that I was not prepared for that my parents didn't make me do already, for the most part. Now, they didn't make me, I had to learn to deal with difficult people, how to get jobs done, all of that. Now, I don't agree with the yelling and I don't agree with the physical part of it. And I took that out. But
that's a specific industry that is set you up for success in. So if you have a strict regimen with chores at your house, you got the discipline behind the chores part. If you move into hospitality or food service, then that would be I get you on that. But what if you were in a different industry where you had to more so rely on your soft skills? How good would you be at communication if your parents ain't communicate? They just said, do this. So now you got that, you taking that same trait into being a boss, whereas you lack communication. Is do what I say because I'm the authority figure. So I think it works in different ways, and it really depends on the type of industry that you end up in.
And I would say that there are certain skills when it comes to discipline that translate to any business, right? So the chores, to me, the chores are not the chores are not. I don't feel like the chores were slave labor per se. I feel like the chores were giving me responsibility, right? The chores weren't because my mom couldn't clean the house and she just wanted me to go clean the house. It was to have a sense of responsibility, a task list that I had to do that made me prepare. So no matter whether I was a lobbyist and I said, damn, here's my task list. These are the things that I must do before I can go out and have drinks or do whatever. Right, those were the tasks, and I don't know that it was the physical part. Now I used those, and I wound up loving it. But it is the discipline of starting, finishing, having a timeline, having to meet a deadline by someone else, and the reward is the freedom to turn on the TV or go outside and be free for whatever. Like that, it just...
But think about how young people grow up nowadays. It's like TV is not necessarily used as a reward. That is like the standard thing that the parents got on in the house 24/7.
So I'm saying, but it's not, the TV is just, that was the reward then. The reward could be your car. The reward could be the usage of your phone. The reward could be whatever it is. But you don't get something for nothing. Like we all have something to do in this world. And it's like, it doesn't just happen. And I feel like a lot of the things that miss is in this space is we make things optional that aren't really optional. And then people
like
grow.
What? Because you always got a choice.
Exactly.
That's what I learned. You always got a choice.
I think you always have a choice, but your choices lead to your outcomes. So you can choose to not work, but you will live where you live. We always have choices. Now,
see, I don't ever want to. So they're like, why are we raising people to be workers? Like, why not try to raise them to be good humans? Why not raise them to be to be something else? Like, why does it always come down to the system of work?
I feel like
that's just like teaching young people to walk in the line. They say that ain't nothing but setting them up for prison.
I believe that it is. So I think my son's not being taught to work. He's being taught to inherit his family business. But it requires work. And he is being taught that this car, this house, all of this is connected to this. Now, you can go be somebody's employee. You can go be homeless. But if you enjoy the lifestyle that you have and you want to exceed it, there is a cost that comes with this. Right? And so when I tell you, hey, I need you to go to the car and get the stuff out of the car and bring it up here and put it down and take it over to TP to drop it off for Big Swill or whatever it is like, why? Okay, I'm going to tell you why once, and then you're going to do it. Or that's fine, but you won't have a car. And there is and I don't think that first of all, I'm not raising my kids to be workers, even though everybody is not raised to be a business person either. I just think you gotta instill some basics in them, because when the real world hits, then man, there's an article, we were going to talk about it today. There's an article in Cranes today, and it's talking about the different levels of work. And I think it really just hit on what you were talking about. It's on the third thing. So I think boomers were taught they don't really care about the job. Just go to work, get your pension, and grind it out. You don't got to like your job, etc. I think then Generation X came, and initially we thought we were going to be able to follow the path that our parents followed, and then it didn't work out that way. And so then we got into the place of work happiness and making sure that you're happy at your job. Then the millennials came, and they started to recognize that dream wasn't there, and they decided that it was like this, like work was still a thing, but then there was the side hustle, which became kind of the mentality. Now we are at the spot where they're saying Generation Z is looking to do kind of what you say, not realizing that they're not going to achieve their dream from working a 9-to-5 job. And so they are moving into the social economy and trying to be content creators and influencers. And they said that it's exploding across the country because people are recognizing that they're not achieving their dream. They won't achieve their life goals by working a traditional 9-to-5. But then it turns out that doesn't really, it looks a certain way, but it doesn't come up that way. Like only 12% of the people who have 10,000 followers or more make over $50,000. And I think it goes to your point of why are we raising people to work? And I don't know that I think we've disconnected work from success. Now, I do think that the salaries and a whole bunch of other stuff has happened, but I do think that there has to be some correlation between work and success. I just don't know how it happens without that. But when we say we make them better humans, what then is the outcome of that? Like, what's the next step? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think trying to make them better humans in the context of the world that we live in, that would just be my thing. What you think?
Oh, that was a question. I don't really understand the question.
No worries.
I agree with your analysis.
Go to the live line. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Talk to me, caller. What you got? They done hung up. They quit. Oh, y'all quit? That's because Ruthie was talking too much.
That was you just went on that diet. Was it diatribe?
A diatribe. I went on it was a diatribe and a soliloquy, and now we got the spinning disc. So I guess my thing is, it's chopping. It seems like it's chopping now because we done blew up the internets. Hello? Take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore, and DJ Riis the Ruler on a Friday. I can't believe y'all ain't do no headlines. Y'all ain't do no headlines. Riis didn't take the plane off. Ruthie around here freeing the people. I'm around here trying to go back to child abuse. I'm not trying to abuse the children. We landing that, dog. We landing. We flew in silent mode.
Flying in right now.
Now, can I tell you what? I enjoy these conversations. I tell you, when you want to know what the best
Clearly, we know you did because you spent the whole show dissecting it.
I feel like everybody did, though. I think the grown folks enjoy this. I tell you what, though, I did learn something.
Yep, shout out to Kiana.
Man, Kiana tripping. That's okay. And when you come home and your pillow's all messed up, I'm gonna be talking up. I'm gonna be like, she said we was mad disrespectful to my mama's house. I'm just saying, y'all just don't. Hey, man. See, I ain't gonna ask.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna ask. Can I ask? I just want to ask. I really do want to ask.
You probably don't.
Was y'all that disrespectful?
I don't think we want to dabble in that.
I just was curious. Y'all stay out y'all parents.
But it's just the basis of saying, hey, we knew we weren't supposed to do this, but we still did it.
I'm just saying. With your mama home? Okay. Anyway. Just saying. And we know it happens because many people remember Chris Tucker, one of Chris Tucker's funniest jokes was when he got caught. But that's okay. It is now time for Tell Me Something Good. It is Friday. It has been a great week. I am ready for the holidays. I mean, not the holidays. This ain't.
Say, what holiday you celebrating?
CPS switched it up on me, so they got me all thrown off. I forgot this ain't Labor Day weekend. But let me tell you what. It is something you got. Go on here, Riis. You got it in there? Make the fake one up. Yeah. How they got a white lady singing Tell Me So Good? Wow, wow.
Tell me that you like it. Yeah.
That's right, y'all. It is Tell Me Something Good Friday. Let me just tell you some real quick headlines. Dr. Arwady and Jesse White both have COVID. Derek Chauvin is now being transferred to the federal penitentiary in Arizona. The Oaklawn teen who was brutalized by the police got charged with gun possession yesterday. It's only 4 days until petitions. California, Ruthie, did you hear this? They're banning gas cars after the creation of gas cars after 2035, and they're saying no more new gas stations. That's crazy. So you know that means the brother's gonna be, man, Charlie. Did you see the security breach at FBI office? Somebody climbed the fence and started throwing rocks. How you climb the FBI fence? Like
they weren't black, was they?
I don't know.
Nah, they weren't black. You want to know how I know they weren't black?
How you know?
Because
He's
you
alive.
said, there you go. Because you'd have been like, somebody climbed a black man climbed the fence and got shot there. That's how you know the story.
How did he climb the fence without this?
Without getting cut with the little circle thing. That's how you know. Yeah, ain't no black person finna go have time to cut, make a hole, jump over it. They gonna throw it from outside.
They would have had a sniper. Kill him. Security. Oh, I said that. Stunt drivers are not so bad. Did you see they got the front page? They said, look, man, we just be trying to have fun out here. And it's like, it's an adrenaline rush. That is the classic white folks. When white folks be like, we are breaking the law, but this is why we doing it. Like, you feel like,
oh, so they get negotiated with.
It's white folks. See, you white parenting. Look at Ruthie over there with the white parents. No, Colin. Colin, please, can we? You ever seen white folks negotiating with their kids in the grocery store?
Yes.
Black parents be like, yo, get your snatch.
You don't even. No, you just don't even. You don't even say. They don't say nothing. You just get snatched up, or you get to talk before you go in the store.
No. Is that still okay?
The talk before you go in the store? Yes, I'd rather you do that than to be slapping your baby up.
I don't want to see nobody slap. Now, one of the things I can't. What bothers me is when people yelling at their kids, calling them crazy names and stuff. I be like, don't make me.
Well, it's for being a baby. Of course, they gonna touch.
Right, baby. I'm with that, baby. You can touch it, just not the stove. Hot. All right, let me see what else. Small business hub launches in Inglewood. The search warrant for Trump is unsealed today.
It's gonna be so redacted. It's gonna be like a edited rap song with the beep outs.
You know, Riis, I'm trying to think. Can we go back to the old days, like when the catalog came? You think we could erase and see under the words? No. Okay. Well. All right, and then the new ward maps with the precincts gone is out, so you can check that on the Board of Elections. That is the headlines. The social media question of the day is nepotism a bad thing? But we got stuck on family issues, so we didn't get there. Also, the mayor's race is, if it was held today, where would you hold the rankings? Plus, promises made, promises kept. We got to come back to this. I really wanted to talk about the Obama Library. The head of the Obama Library said that we need to check the work. And I'm ready to check the work. That's 2 days I missed this topic.
That's all right. Listen, so make it easier for you. Monday when you come in, just sleep a little bit longer. Just leave your paper right here, everybody. We just going to come in. We just going to come in and go off this right here.
I just do the same shit. I got to read the headlines. I got to do the headlines.
Just come in right there.
That's funny. And then, what was I going to do at 8 o'clock? At 8 o'clock, we was going to talk about living an influential lifestyle, which is kind of what I talked about with the millennials. But I do think it's interesting because they were saying how many not millennials, Generation Zs are leaving the workplace to become social media and content, digital influencers and content creators. Why you laughing?
Because it's true.
Because they getting water. They can't get none of that stuff.
Well, they saying that, but what they said was, which is the harsh reality, which is it really don't work out that way, right? It's like the average social media influencer makes content creator makes between $61 and $81 an hour, working somewhere between 8 and 15 hours a week. So like 50,000, like 12% of the people make $50,000 of the. That's it, 50,000, and to live it low. Yeah. So, I mean, I could testify to that and then they were talking about how much time people spend. Think about this. We spend 15 hours a week at a minimum. It's probably like 16, 17. So for me, it's probably 15 times add 10 to it, right? So 25 hours a week creating content for less than $600. Shit, it costs me to create content. So I think that was an interesting point to take a look at. But it was to your point of not raising people to be workers, right? They're not, that Gen Z is not trying to be workers. And I think they got to find what the niche is in between there. With that in mind, it's time for Tell Me Something Good. Let's do this. Let's go to the caller first. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Tell me something good.
I don't have anything.
Byron, you waited all this time to tell us you ain't got nothing good?
No, I had to hang up because the Fed is about to talk. I got a few more minutes. Hey, I just want to talk about work. See, even for kids, there's value in work, right? Like, for instance, you tell your kid, well, he wants this. Well, then you have to do this to get that. There's a relationship with your kids. Let's talk about the kids again. I'm with Devo all the way, but I just had to call and just add this piece about work because there's value in doing work. You learn concepts. You learn discipline. You learn that to get from one place to another place, from one step to the next step, you have to do some work. You may call it something different, but it's all about work. And that's where the value system comes in when you're doing work. Because the person that's given everything, they don't get the value of doing that work. But a person who went through the process to get all that stuff done, they know the value in it. And they treasure it more. It's like people who are in the section, I'm just an example, who are given things when you say Section 8 tenants. Some people just tear stuff up because they're going to have to work hard to get it. Right? It's work. Everything you do is work, even with the kids. Kids have to do work to get what they need. And if you go through that work process, you I think you're a better person, and you return the value of different of things in general. And we look at our kids. Look at our kids compared to the Indian kids and the Chinese kids. Do you see them walking around with babies and strollers and anything? No, because their value is education. They preach it all the time. With this education, this is what you're gonna do. You see what I'm saying? So you got to do the work to get this education to be in this position so you can control things. They're taught that at an early age, but they have to do the work. They have to study hard. For them, studying is everything. That's work. I mean, do you see my point in that or no?
No, I think you got a good point. So let me say this. I think you got a good point. I think we have an averse reaction to work as black folks in general because of our forced labor, right? So I do feel like there is still this concept of forced labor. I guess for me, I don't know another way. I'm not saying that as a judgment against anyone else. I don't know how to get ahead or to shoot above water without working, even from a position of ownership. And so, like, I guess my thing is I'm not really tripping. So, Byron, I agree with your point. Thank you. And thanks for calling. And I think what I'm having a hard time getting my head around, and I'm not really trying to be critical at this point. I just don't know how we advance or improve our situations without work. That's all. And I don't mean it as I'm not trying to mean it as a diss to your opinion. I just don't know how do you get more I just don't know how you get more. Like, that's it. And that's the statement. All right. Tell me something good. DJ Riis the Ruler. Tell me something good. Wow, wow. Riis, you ain't ready to turn off your mic now.
I found out that I am an incredible parent today. That is number one.
Shout out to Riis.
Shout out to Riis.
People tried to come at him.
That's all good.
He wasn't going.
That's all good. I know they kids. It's okay. It's okay. We all raise our children different. I'm supposed to go to a wedding tomorrow. I don't know. It's up in the air. It's in St. Louis. I'm debating about if I want to drive there or not. But congratulations to my cousin.
That's tell me so good. Because I was like, that don't sound like you telling them something good.
You know what I'm saying? Make it or not, man. Congrats to you and your wife. You know what I'm saying?
Do they even listen to the show, dog?
Huh?
Do they even listen to the show? Reese telling him. I'm telling him. He's finding out on the radio that they ain't going to be coming.
I tag him right now.
You bogus.
I went out to with my daughter and my lady yesterday to Thursday night out in Oak Park, so it was good. I think I'm gonna do some more bonding time with my family real quick and.
Not real quick.
Yeah, real quick. You know, hey,
let me get it over with.
Yeah, you got to do it because I tell you, it's like spotty. That's because. But listen, that's because of my upbringing. Like, so like I didn't have a real like connection. So like we did stuff and then we split. So like I'm getting like used to like being like there doing like a lot of stuff. So, but my tell me something good is I'm just gonna probably just chill with the fam, relax, and if I could go to St. Louis, then I'll be there. If not, then. Congrats, cuz. Congrats.
Okay. Congratulations, cuz, on your wedding. Man. And I'm sorry you found out about it on the morning show. You focus yourself.
Did you RSVP?
You better
because if you did, you ain't even right.
And you got to send them the money for the plates if you didn't, because they had to pay for them.
So
Reese, you might
because I'll be there tomorrow. See you.
Right, I'm not paying. Look, you like because you know you got to
gas money to drive down there. So
gas money.
If I'm gonna pay you that, I'm gonna pay the gas money. But
go and get your plate.
Yeah, but he must. Yeah.
That's a 5-hour ride for a plate. But no, I'm saying support your cousin. Forget the plate. It's your cousin, man. You stop tripping, man.
I got
go ahead, get on the road.
I get paid on the first, cuz I got.
When is the first?
6 days, cuz I got you. Next Thursday.
Can y'all postpone y'all wedding until next week?
I got you.
Put an IOU in the thing, in the wishing well. What's this? This is from Riis. All right. Ruthie Mo! Tell me something good, kid.
I'm glad it's Friday. It's the end of the month. So my something good is really just trying to enjoy the rest of the summer. So my something good is just I've been spending a lot of time with people that I love.
Go ahead.
And that's been something good for me.
Go ahead. You was with your daddy. You sing your daddy.
I do love my father.
Dad, no, say it. You supposed to say, hey, my daddy.
I mean, who says
you do?
Daddy. Like, that don't even sound right.
Go ahead, say daddy.
My daddy. That's what you don't. Yeah.
You don't supposed to say. That sound like a video that I don't want to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. That's your man. Like, not your.
No, that's not your man. Please, let's just. Can we kill that too? Can we just kill the daddy thing? Like, there's something sickly twisted about that.
A daddy and a daddy and a zaddy. 3 different things. So my something good is spend time with the people that you love, everybody. And to all the parental units out there, take time this weekend to negotiate with your young people. If you tell them to do something and they say no, don't pop off. Don't pop off.
I can't pop off.
Ask them, are you having a mental health crisis right now?
I'm gonna be having a mental health crisis. I'm gonna have a mental. You remember your mom be? I have a mental crisis all over your ass. It'll be anything you said. I have it all over your ass. My mama didn't talk like that, but I used to see people who would be like, "Mama,
don't write a check,
Mama." Why he crying? Cause he want his ass whooped. Like,
but didn't you just do that already? I was confused.
Shut up! I'll give you something to cry about. What you just hit me with about?
Maze, can you please stop? You are triggering my trauma.
My trauma.
Ruthie, you ain't even getting no whooping. Stop.
Yes, I did. I remember every single one that I got, and that is post-traumatic stress.
Were they good whoopings?
They were unnecessary.
That's not true. Did your mama do it or you did?
My mama was the whooper.
Okay, right.
The unnecessary. Just because you frustrated don't mean you got to come home mad at us.
See, because you run around asking me questions when I need a glass of water, damn it. Go give me some water.
Look, something my niece said, the youngest one. She said, yeah, my mama always talking about this our house when she want us to clean up, but any other time it's her house. How can you argue with that? That is sound logic from a child. So I said, you know what? You right.
So you bet, and let me tell you,
you're right.
You are right. Now go clean up our house. You are so right, Niecy Pooh. Now go clean up our house.
And that might work instead of.
Every time my nieces come to my house, I have a task for them to do. I'm chore auntie, but they know that if I ask you, hey, can you sweep out my back hallway? They do it because they know that I'm gonna give them, like I'm not asking you. I'm gonna give. It's reciprocity. I'm gonna give you whatever what you need.
Ruthie, but that's auntie house. At the house you live at, ain't no reciprocity, dude. You gotta walk through this same kitchen that I do.
And how come it's our house when you want us to clean up, but it's your house when you don't want us to do something?
Well, I always say it's our house until you start asking me why. Right? You ask me some questions, then it's my house. Why? Because it's my... Now, could you get us some water? Why I gotta get us some water?
I ain't thirsty.
Listen, I still to this day, every time I promise you, every time I go to my mama's house, she be running us.
Man.
She act like she can't do nothing for herself. We be doing all types of stuff. Man, my daddy can't stand
would not
it.
Come in. My cousin be like, I ain't gonna come.
My
mama
said,
could find
your mama wait till y'all come here to ask y'all to do stuff.
See, Dad,
but I'm okay with that. My daddy be snitching, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with. I'll wash dish. I don't complain. If the dish is in the sink, I'll wash them. Like I get it. Like I understand.
You gotta pay. That's because you pledge. You understand that?
No, it's just being
respectful.
It's just respect. Like you look out for your parents when they get a certain age.
Right. See.
But but don't be cruel to them when they little, because when you get older, they ain't gonna look out for you. They're gonna be like, go get your own water. And what you gonna do about it? Nothing. You gonna be too feeble.
I'm gonna hit you with my BB gun across the room.
You gonna be too feeble.
Hey, Ruthie, I tell my kids every day, you better go read about how Marvin Gaye died. And that is it. That is it, man. That's all I got to say.
That's funny.
That's horrible.
That funny. Marvin.
Don't ever think no.
Wait, Maze, what's your tell me something good?
I got a few. First of all, it is college football opening weekend. Which means that from now until January, there will be football on TV every week. The Fighting Illini play, I believe, Wyoming tomorrow. Be ready for Obsidian in the next 2 weeks. We will be opening up for all of the games. So that is my first tell me something good. Second, high school football starts today. I really can't wait until next week. Ruth, you coming? Riis, you coming?
To where?
To Bolingbrook versus Simeon at the
You
Gateway
really doing
Stadium.
a live broadcast?
No, we ain't gonna do a live broadcast, but we gonna do a live talk shit to David Moore the whole time.
I like Simeon. I like their colors.
I'm gonna tell your sorrows.
David Moore's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
I'm gonna have to ride with Simeon because they're
I want you to. For Prosser. I'm taking all bets too. We taking all bets. Me and my crew coming. We taking all bets. So if you went to Simeon and if we need to have a pregame bookie set, I don't want to be betting on high school games. But if you feel itchy,
I'm rooting for the underdogs.
No, I got it. See, now I'm not gonna bet because I believe that the CPS schools didn't get.
They going against adversity. They got to play on they feel got holes in it and all that. So they gonna
got the right equipment there. You know what I'm saying?
They helmets all big and heavy. Y'all got them lightweight ones with the earpieces in them. That ain't
right. They
right.
got the same helmets as Simeon since '86.
Unfair match.
Oh wait, not Simeon.
Meanwhile,
not the great y'all football. Like y'all, you mean to tell me y'all basketball school don't fund your football?
No,
we are all around program. So like whether it's girls, boys, or by the way, shout out to the KKKers.
The KKKs, what they do?
They rank like number 10. We gonna whoop them.
That's them.
But them corn-fed. Y'all got them corn-fed linemen with you got
they
the
just have really good coaching this year.
They have everybody playing their positions. So Kankakee is in a cornfield. You ever heard of the words them big corn-fed?
No. Kankakee does not. No, Kankakee D-line does not look like them corn-fed white boys from Southern Illinois.
I'm talking about the O-line.
These are okay. They kind of.
I'm just they big and they country corn guys.
Kankakee is not country. That is not country corn. Hersher country corn guys. Wilmington country corn guys.
Nazareth.
Coal City country corn guys.
Do they play them?
Who?
Bolingbrook.
Man, we don't stoop that low.
I think it's a.
We don't do
You are
2A.
a hater.
We don't do like class 1A. What are y'all like? What are y'all 2A, 3A?
Mate, you know I got the route for the case. I got the
do?
schedule. I'm there like I got young people on the team.
Ruthie,
with my Letterman jacket on.
Do we need to find us some NILs.
What's that?
We need to go find us some kids that's gonna make it and we could be their agents. Get them some sponsorship deals. Like, you know what I'm saying, Ruthie?
Now you're a good little high schooler, number one in the country. You could be his agent right now. I'm telling you. That's big.
I'm just telling you.
Listen, they changed the rules. I know. I'm with it.
Stay in school picnic.
You know what we should do right now?
What?
Is we should get Gregory's son since he's doing push-ups.
Oh yeah, Gregory, Greg Sherman, Greg. Hey man, Greg Sherman. We want to get your son now. We want to sign him up for his NIL deal.
Right.
Look, we signed him for a 42-year contract because the boy was doing 100 push. Dog, he had the boy doing 100 push-ups coming out the. Like I promise you, I'm not even trip. We went to ECCSC. Greg was there with his lady, and his lady was holding like a 10-year-old. He was like, look, he's only 10 days old. I was like, dude, that's a big dude.
He was doing a pull up on his
right.
mom.
He was like, Mom. Look, so I say, Greg, how old? I said, Greg, how many push-ups he do a day? He said, about 100 an hour. Damn, Greg. Then that's when I just keep thinking about Greg's son. When that dude be like, Gregory. And Greg's son be like, what you talking about, Greg? Anyway. Stay in school. I call it cookout, but it's the stay in school picnic in the 27th Ward. I'm probably not supposed to tell y'all where it's at, but they be giving out good stuff. Good stuff. Like they school supplies. They be getting like the whole CPS list and be like, here you go.
They don't get no Rose Art. They get Crayola.
Hey, man. And then my
that's the one I went to last year. They was giving away bikes and stuff last.
Bikes. They was giving lobster on a stick. Like, cause they got all the restaurants. So the kids be, but they say it's like you go to like the other ones, it be like, can I have a hot dog?
And they had a Tesla show out. They had everybody that had a Tesla come drive in the middle.
What?
Yeah,
hey man,
like a whole bunch
here
of
I am just going for the corn.
Hey man, and the corn. Check it out. The corn. Did you see the corn machine?
I heard about it.
That corn machine is off the chain. Parlor just gave them all. So it's going to be a elote corn out there. Ooh. Roasted corn. It's going to be all the good stuff. Now, I'm not supposed to tell y'all the address, but.
Do you think black people make better elotes than Latino people?
No.
You say no? What you think, Maze?
I never had black people elotes.
You haven't?
Who black make elote?
But you know, black people make elotes.
Do they?
I don't eat them, but I have tasted them. But yeah.
Really? I bet I can make a fly look fire. Now, do you put cayenne or do you put paprika?
I like a little spice.
But
most people do the paprika.
You know, okay. But tomorrow, like we should all show up at the stay in school. Just come by and say what's up to the peoples. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll love you a lot. They'll be like, y'all famous, right? They be like, Ruthie! I'm going to that. Okay, so I didn't forget that either. Matter of fact, hold on.
Save me some, man, because I know I got a job.
Hey, man,
do you like your elotes on the cob or in a cup?
Well, you know what? I don't really eat it, so like I only had it like once.
I ain't never had it straight off the cob though.
You know what? It's too much. I feel like, first of all, with the mayonnaise on it. You ain't finna catch me eating no corn on the cob with no mayonnaise.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, nice.
Also, I really am not. Shout out to Brianna Gatlin. She has got her purple block party. Have y'all heard about that? They doing a festival on the west side for the west side. And so Garfield Park, they got a festival, $55. They got Chicago performers as well as some people that we don't get down with, but they will be performing. And so we want to support Brianna. So just so y'all know, she has the purple block party. Also, Ruthie, I don't know, I'm not going at 2, but I am going to Lindblom, their alumni cookout picnic, because we have to award the trophy for the school alumni spirit. I got to go pick it up a little bit later on today. But if you all, shout out to all of the Lindblom alum. They really ain't got more school spirit than Bolingbrook, but just because, they was cheating during the pandemic and they ain't had nothing else to do, they won, so we got to get them the school spirit trophy. So I'll be at the Lindblom cookout. Hopefully, Ruthie, you'll make it over to Riis. You probably ain't gonna make it.
So it's like a bubble. It's like a bubble trophy.
No, man, it's pretty dope.
Hey, see, you know,
listen, don't do Mays Jackson.
It's a real trophy.
Mays Jackson.
No, like I'm just saying.
It's gonna be a traveling trophy. It's a cup.
They won, but it was only because of the little pandemic.
Oh, yeah. They broke in my house too.
Oh man,
they broke in my house and tricked out they took over my studio in my crib. Like, I don't know how they got in the house. I had a studio downstairs. I feel like they cracked the screen door. When I came in, they had switched everything around, and it was like Lindblom, and I was like, really? In the home of the Raiders?
That was pretty cool.
I'm gonna tell you what, that and the Greek challenge during the pandemic were probably 2 of the highlights. Riis, Lindblom literally had over 25,000 votes.
Swoop, swoop. I just know they always say
they be saying swoop, swoop
for the Eagles, right?
Right.
I think that's cool.
I think that it's actually they really do have a strong alumni association. So I look forward to going out there. I hope they got some good food though, cause don't have me come, Ruthie. I'm gonna talk about them. If Lindblom ain't got no good food, I'm gonna be on the air on Monday talking about they do all that talking, can't even cook.
Swoop, swoop,
swoop, swoop. All right, y'all. It's been a good week, good show. I'm gonna go practice my negotiating skills. Apparently,
you go in there and be like, Mazon, as a father, I just want to know am I doing a good job? Am I listening to your needs? Are your needs being fulfilled? Is there anything that I can do better as a father to make sure, just like going there and hollering them like that?
Can I tell you something though?
Yeah, Dad.
Nah, Dad, you're good.
Actually, so it's funny that you say that, because y'all know I'm super hypersensitive right now about trying to be on top of everything, right? Because this is really my first time of him, since he's been a young adult. So it's funny you say that, and we're having this conversation, but I actually said some things very similar to that yesterday.
Come on.
Just because, sometimes I will tell you that I never really talked to my parents, right? And quite frankly, I feel like after I was 14, no shade, I raised myself. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is what's happening to me at school. I'm not saying they didn't take care of me, but at a certain point, it's you come home, you go to your room, you do your thing, you eat your food, you do your necessary stuff. But I don't know that I need to know, so I feel like I don't need to know every single stitch of what happens. As a child, to me, I believe that you gotta have you gonna do your thing, etc. What I want to do is make sure you're aware, that I'm aware that you were a young person. I was a young person too. Nothing that you've been through is not something that I haven't either made a mistake or make a mistake, and we can always recover. But when I ask for some water, I'm going to need that drink. Now, I will tell you, out of this conversation, the whole concept of the game, and I'll tell you honestly, it's never been a time. So a lot of this was for tickles and giggles, because there's really never a time when I ask. Now he might move slower than I like, right? Because let's go. But I think Riis moves slower than I like. I think you move slower than I like. I was talking to Carrie, and when you walk with Carrie, she be like, "You walking so fast." I'd be like, "Now." I'd be like, "Did I ask you to do something?" And you'd be like. So I recognize that I have a time thing as well. And I do think that we all have evolved as parents. I think that if you were to talk to most of the parents on this stream, they probably did get some kind of physicality. Yep, right? Because that is what our parents knew. I think I listen a lot to Salim when he talks about, like I think that some of our beatings did come from the whole concept of slavery and discipline and all that. So I get it, right? I get all of that. So I do try to be sensitive to the things that I liked or did not like. And I don't want to say I negotiate. I am conscious. But when it's time to stop negotiating and I say, okay, negotiation's over, just do what I tell you because I ain't got time today. Like some days I don't got time to explain. And it is my thought process in our family and in my associations that on the days I ain't got time to explain, just know that I'm doing what's in your best interest in mind. That stated, do right by your kids. Love them, hug them, and don't curse them out in the store.
Not this weekend.
No weekend. That drives me nuts. I cannot stand to see a little kid getting cursed out. I don't like to see no kid getting cursed. Like teenagers are terrible people. So they just be just like they don't like nothing. But like a baby. But then my thing is, if you got some wild ass kids and you be acting like they ain't wild ass kids,
that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Ain't nothing in the store to
You don't see that. You don't see your kid. You know people with wild ass kids,
man.
That be acting like they don't know that their kids wild.
So you don't see.
And then don't you be like, somebody need to pop you,
man?
No such thing.
What?
They're just misunderstood.
At your house,
walking around the store,
jumping
knocking
on
everything.
Right?
Down.
You ever seen one of them bad? You ever seen? Is there such thing as a badass kid?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna introduce you.
No.
Look, y'all.
No labels. No negative labels.
Okay. How about you are a rambunctious, happy child with a lot to do?
There you go. And a lack of boundaries.
So how you put does you make electric fence?
Oh my goodness.
Hey. Okay. You want to cross in the middle? I got you. Go ahead. See how that work out.
So you put the train them. See, like the way that I would usually do things is I would try to show them a reason why you don't do it. So you cross at the corner. You make sure that everything is all good. Look left and right, and then you try to scare them by crossing in the middle when like a car coming. You kind of like, oh snap! It's like this is why you don't. So you gotta show them, and they be like, you know what? Go to the curb. You gotta
unless you miss, unless it's the wrong day and the kid fall down. Right? Like, oh, daddy,
oh man,
Reese, that's funny, but probably that's wow.
Go ahead, see
that is
wow.
You the type of daddy that you throw the baby up in the air, huh?
And let him hit the ceiling and be like,
"No, I catch it then." But
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you didn't touch your baby then.
Oh, hell no. I might do like this. I might let go and
like my daughter loved that as a kid. Like
right until you drop her ass.
I never dropped it.
I know his kind.
I never dropped it.
I know your kind, Reese.
Oh no, don't drop it. No.
I'm telling you, my daughter.
You ain't got no hands like that.
She was like 7. I'm like, baby, you heavy. Like I'm telling you, higher. And my kids used to love when I toss them in there.
Oh my gosh! Of course they did.
Right. These same kids that close the door though. So hey, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I'm going to make this a post today.
You know what?
I'm not gonna say your name.
No,
I'm not gonna say your name.
It's an unfairness because of the age group that you have on your timeline.
I mean, you better tell your people.
You're gonna have a lot of people from like your age, or maybe a little bit older. That's gonna be but like no.
I don't think you whoop them. You be like, open this door, take the door off there.
You don't do that. I'll take the door off. So like you're gonna have a lot of but then you'll see a lot of millennials be like it's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have.
So you go. So okay. So I can't.
I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Dog, ask about parental missteps.
That's another one.
And see where you get.
Oh, I think you'll get
learn more from that than they would from. Should the door be open or closed? They gonna be like closed.
This ain't for no learn. This for fun. Damn it, it's Friday. I ain't trying to. I gotta have a lesson. We can't just have no fun. We can't just have some controversy over the weekend. We can come back and be serious on Monday. Look, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show with Maze and Riis and Ruthie. Y'all notice this door open right here? I done kept the door open.
See my door open right here.
You see my door open right here?
See Riis door.
I don't tell you. See Riis
closed doors in a house is generally suspicious to me and to my family.
I feel like So I feel like
you close the door to keep people out generally.
So
not
I
to
feel
keep
like
people in.
I feel like my son is a young man in the house, and we all on the same floor. I let him close the door.
He might be changing his clothes.
No, I let him. I mean, he be in. I be like, close it because your room stink, boy. Good Lord, I be like, when you leave, I'm about to defunk this mug. Defunk it. Where do little boys stink?
Your son is an athlete.
Well, good God. Well, I show what though. When I went to the school and I saw the showers, I was like, take one when you get home. Like them old showers back in the day.
The metal ones.
With the metal with the thing with 20 of them around there and you got to stand there. I was like, you could just take
Do
the
they
shower.
got the little curtains up? Or it's just open?
It's just walk in there.
Wow. Now,
Like
I ain't seen they normally have them curtains nowadays.
Hey, man. I was just like, oh, no.
I wouldn't trust the open one.
Hey, man, I remember we had a gym teacher that used to be like, everybody got to take a shower, and he would just stand there.
Don't stop. No. He is not about to end on that on a Friday.
What you mean he was standing there?
Riis, don't ask no extra questions.
No, you need to go. That's trauma. You need to go. If he is alive, you can go and be one of them people that be like, my gym teacher used to watch us.
You really could.
You really could. And then you be looking at that man locked up, 86-year-old Dan Kopecky.
Mr. Surgeon Skinner.
Mr. Surgeon Skinner.
Surgeon Skinner.
86-year-old Surgeon Skinner.
I mean, I feel like, I'm gonna just be honest with you, and we all like you fake
that
it.
is so. That is like
we all used to be like
that's trying to
Mr. We all he used to no. Everybody had to take a shower because it would be like all the black kids was like, we ain't taking no shower. Like, man,
that is weird.
And he would be
Did
like,
he ever say you missed the spot?
That is not funny. That ain't right, Maze. You should report him.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Say the name again.
Did y'all ever?
Because watch, some other people gonna say, "Oh my gosh."
Did y'all ever?
Now I bet he.
Did y'all
was my swim teacher.
Did y'all ever watch? I know y'all probably don't watch Friends. Do y'all ever watch Friends?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there's an episode of Friends, and I'm gonna be through with this after this, where Joey went to the tailor all the time since he was a kid, and he said every time the tailor would measure him, he would move him, right? And he would be like, do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As the tailor would move him, and he was like, so he was inscribing it to his friends, and he was like, yeah, and then when you go to the tailor, it's the part when he comes and he moves you.
Listen.
And they was like,
what?
That's not right. You were being handled. And he was like,
that's like them football players where the trainer was sticking his finger up there, what's. Remember that? And they all came out and was like, oh, this was not a standard.
Right, he said it's a prostate.
You didn't know when he first did that wasn't a standard form.
So let me just say this.
No,
check this out, fam. Check this out. Real talk. I just recently had a prostate thing exam. It was traumatic. Like, for real. Now, I cannot imagine, but I was scared to not do it because my age.
Your risk factors.
And, right. If somebody told you that and it's an official medical, I was like, there has to be a better way to do this.
I remember, I believe it was Dr. Audrey put in the chat one time.
That you could get it in blood.
That you could just get a blood sample.
So here's my thing, though. So why are they still doing it? Right? Like, why are they still? No. And I am telling you, I am at the age group where a lot of my friends are now, and it is like this moment of fact of life, like, fam, you just got to take it if you want to live. But why then are they still doing it if... And I'm telling you, I was like, I literally had to wait for like I asked him to leave the room and was like, I need a few minutes. So if you know that there's like
certain things are like it's called like medical standards or whatever. Like, and so the prod is probably more of a medical standard than the test. And it probably has to do with medical billing and coding, like related to that blood test maybe being like the next step after they do the finger thing.
Can we start with the blood then? I'd take a needle then. So anyway, Now y'all making me think. So Mr. Surgeon, y'all think Mr. Surgeon Kettle was funny?
I would like you to tell me his first and last name so I can look him up.
On my soul.
I'm just saying, he like literally, like I promise you,
I mean,
like we all used to be like, you gonna just stare right there?
That is just very. I mean, I could now if he would have been like, okay, I got to do that because if you've ever had to monitor young people in the shower,
correct?
Like that's a thing, right? I had to do that when I worked the job, whereas you got to monitor young people in the shower.
Wait,
but you. Well, it's the same gender. It's always same gender.
Okay, I was about to say, damn, Ruthie.
But it's one of those things whereas you respect their privacy in a way. Like you gotta monitor them. You gotta make sure they ain't doing nothing, but you gonna still respect
turn
their
away,
privacy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had like my back to some, you know what I'm saying? But I remember
nah, he was like this.
I know. See, that's my whole thing. Is I'm
That's
not looking
weird.
at children like I'm not looking at children like that because I don't know. That just it sounds weird. Like it's like if my son came and say, "Yeah, man, my gym teachers every day he watches us take showers," I'll be like, "What?"
I want to make sure you're not goofing off in there and playing in the water.
I just being there, you know what I'm saying? Turn your back or just be inside of the locker room. Like you can hear, you know, but to be sitting there standing, staring at no.
It's creepy.
Drama.
That really is.
They got his name.
But you know what? That's one of those. See that, and then we gonna end it because I know we went over. But that's one of those things where it's teaching young people about body autonomy and them not having to always respect authority. Because I would want my young person to be like, no, versus going along with that because we teach them respect authority. No, it's some instances where you got autonomy and you can negotiate. It's one of them things where I want my young person to negotiate that.
I'm with you on that. Like, I mean,
back then I can understand.
Nah, we didn't like real talk,
I
yo.
didn't think about
you
it.
didn't. Nah, shit. We all thought about it. We was all like the rumor was in the school. Mm-hmm. He's a like I mean, all the dudes would be like, man, we got to do this, man. And it would be like, the joke was, running joke around the whole joint was, and I bet you if you talk to anybody who went to BJ Ward during any of that time, they would tell you.
The joke is on y'all.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's not really a joke.
I know, I'm just saying.
Because as a child, you don't know. Now, he ain't never come in the shower. We don't know, though.
But listen
That's made me think, you know what it made me think of, though? That Jerry Sandusky.
Yep.
Remember that, like when you did you watch the movie? Did you watch that? That was crazy. Like where they were just preying upon kids who
That was crazy.
He was taking them to the school, and people saw it happening.
That was crazy.
And they was like,
now that was an embedded system like the Catholic Church.
Right. Okay, look. I don't even want to end the show on this. Can we say something?
Can you spell his name?
Just spell it off live.
I need to know. I got to make sure because I'm troubled by that.
I'm for real. I'm telling you. And then it was a joke around school that he was like. That's what I'm like. If my child say, "Yeah, it's the."
I mean, we would have never said that to our parents, though.
That's weird. Exactly, and that's why we gotta have an open communication with our children. Y'all ask them. Like I ask my children all the time. I tell all the time about gym, all that. Where they like go, like you know what I'm saying. Like I need to know.
That's why I asked you about your son in the curtains.
Yeah,
like I thought that it was a standard thing to give the young people privacy in those showers nowadays.
See,
like,
but like when I grew up and we had to take a shower after swimming, we didn't have like personals, so we had like the pole that
that's
had
what
four,
they got it
that had four things, about like 4 or 5 of them in the stall. You push the button, the water
and the water come out and we used to be like, hit the water and walk out, like make sure you got wet, get an orange towel and get up out of there.
We gotta watch out.
Y'all shared towels back then?
No, we had an orange towel. We had a towel service. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We'll be back on Monday. But until then, for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie, I am the host where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Life